out a suspect picture with a big ass afro and shit like that. She a motherfucker.
Better not put your paws on me. Burn you really bad, charcoal-y. Tryna get that because of the cost on me. Aim at whatever my target be. Never leave a nigga partially intact, disintegrated, hard to see. In fact, all I gotta say is pardon me. After that, smoke a little bit of parsley. While I'm thinking about it, I'ma spit it till you get it. You better be mad that it sounded fit the mimic. No competition, never had competition. Get it through your head and you would never beat me to the finish. I don't give a damn if you're mad or offended. Got a right to my speech, Slame's gonna get it. Got a right to my seat, better not be in it. Gave away beats, now they coming up a senate. These niggas be so scared that this nigga still go. Hate me, say fuck me, then I say ditto. My fam in this music shit, I kill foes. So if your job is to block me, switch your MO. Hey, nigga call the corner. Had to kill a beat from the Magna Carta. Feels like I was born the son of smarter. My dad a Marine and my mom's a fauna. Cut y'all down to a nap in order. That's an order, all the whack got stacked from an apple slaughter. I'm fully erect, so I can't get harder. Batarram, you them rappers, man, and then hammer dancing your fam. Damaging mammograms, you need ambulance for your man, pamper them fast. I thrash, choking with bandanas and manhandle them, bandamming them. Stand back for my rap, hashtag can't last from all that. Out.
Even for the extricate the complexity of my bars, I won't extricate. Never broke, I'm out the cast with 2 stacks plus an extra K. Break it down, big boy. I hang out with weirdos, then wear clothes. I wear those. You go to stores and ask where those Asian hoes on my egg roll. They wouldn't let go if it was egg goals. My ego's on extra swole, neck frozen on egg glow. Jeff glow like night lights, that's quite bright. I write tight, my right nice like Mike Tice. I might entice your wife tonight. She like pipes, she like dice. Opposite of high guys, she's quite bi. Treated like Tina on the mic of Ike. Treat beaks like Mike and Ike's. Diamonds bright white like Mike's wife or Mike's kids like Mike's life. The crown you lose, I'm a king, you a prince like Sky High. I'm sky high, I fly high, bumming fly high. Giving high fives to all the birds, I'm a wise guy. Try and die, stick a sign inside. That line's nice, my rhyme's yikes. You 5'5", I'm Goliath height. Sling a slingshot and get knife slice. I'm out your view, you can't I. Captain, I'm about my green, no Popeyes. Get your chicken box, no Popeyes. Shoot your vision, I pop eyes. Why, I'm a Kai Fife. I'll pay to fool you with the price right. Get side swipe, just lie, die in a ditch, bitch. Bye. If you could win, nigga, why tie? Boss feel like hits from Muay Thai guys. Kick my feet up, karate high. Lot of rappers out, but they not I. I'm Bill Nye, the science guy, plus Einstein times my mind. My hype is not like y'all behind. I come find I, cause I'm gone.
Yeah, bullets. Hello YouTube, I'm in the mood to go cuckoo cause I'm steady wild. Don't let my hair confuse you, I rape hot 16s, I'm a pedophile. 4 doors in my Chevy now, writing suicide letters down. I hop up out that bitch with 2 J's, I'm feeling like Reddick now, okay check it out. I'm the 5'5" white guy, yep I'm freaking awesome. Promoters wanna book me cause I sell tits like Boston. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I was broke so I fixed it. They think it's a gimmick cause of my image, fuck this beat man, let me spit it. Gag, now I know y'all see Mac Miller and Macklemore nowadays. I might change my name to Mac Boy Fresh, cause them Mac boys be getting paid. Hey, independently, fuck a deal, cause the deal's what a loan is. I feel I got a deal cause I couldn't finance none of my own shit. The label saw I was 28 grams from the jump. I be in my zone quick, I get down like Syndrome. I'm on my extra chromosome shit. Ali Courtney B saw me, said I'm worth a couple mil. Wendy Goldstein saw me, started whispering about a deal. Real talk, they only say it when that talk ain't real. The industry definition, get money, fuck how you feel. You better learn the biz. I told paparazzis and the journalists, I'm the troll that's about to blow. Go ahead and burn this bridge. I think that's 20 bars, my bad, Aunt, let me stop. Oh yeah, it's Dirty ENT, we all we got. Yak bullets, bow.
I'm like, ha, now you see me. Now on YouTube, soon on TV. 4 brothers, 2 fly-ass white guys, full focus, eyes on the prize. Fuck these bitches, just a waste of time. I fuck these bitches, don't waste my time. I fucked around for too damn long, now all I'm worried about is mine. Stand here 10 toes tall in my prime. Looking better never like damn, he's fine. Looking better never can't steal my shine. Sounding better never, hope you caught that rhyme. Catch up just to slow on down. Stroll on through my dirty town. Your girl, she acting flirty now. You're the next one, I observe it. Wow, don't listen to what you read, just judge from the facts you see. I show you that actually we stomp on the beat till it's asleep. I earn my keep for the company I keep. Speak realness and it's strictly for the streets. Keep your mind full when there's nothing to eat. Music in the ears while you're tapping your feet. And I'm still alive, I grew up listening to Jigga. And when I die, my words will still be living with ya.
Say what up when you see me. Pay me what you owe me. No intention, but what you seeing is greatness. Unfortunately, this is what you getting. Look at what you mixing. Stepped out the kitchen, left the oven on. Now who gon' do them dishes? Bitches wishing they could shorten the distance. Long shot, you bullshitting, and we don't need your verse to make the song hot. Dome shot, this verbal ammunition intended to wake up a superstition of this music business.
Us, and not to mention my niggas is in attendance. We hurt they feelings, they ice grilling, they girl grinning.
Post it up, hit the stage, toe it up. Came from nothing, bout to turn out cause just living ain't enough.
Yup, Henny in my cup, but I need more though. I whoop ass with swag, your boy's Eddie Gordo. 2 arms on my torso like Goro. I'm bored, ho, your studio been foreclosed. Catch these on you niggas like Zorro.
It's simple mathematics, check the status in the streets. Statistically it's a sweep, we obviously on the streak. We run it on the low, it's the slogan. Sogu, one day on your poster, today taking over.
Soldier, that Sogu flag be the colors. You can ask about me, brother, I'm a smooth mother.
Fuck a spectator, you looking at lyrical gladiators. I told Ant, we gon' throw that Gatorade on them later.
You a faker, you smellin' look like a hater. Go get your paper, retire baller, you Vin Baker.
Take a second, think about it, I'm well aware that we gon' make it there. Even if they ain't playing fair, I swear
to God, I hustle hard cause I never wanted no fucking job. Watch your entourage, you scaly niggas is camouflage.
Lurking, I can see the evil in their eyes. No surprise, on the high like the sunrise to see my sunrise.
Kill so many lyrically, Dexter is trying to come and get me.
Most hated and most wanted, who rolling with me?
Rolling sticky till my eyes low, black tinted, ride slow.
About to spark up pyro, 4th of July,
Get
ho.
this money fast,
Spend it slow.
What we doing?
Getting mo, can't get too comfortable.
I'm about to time still a show these ciphers I run through. Rappers, it's lunch food. We run this lunchroom, they raise up when we come through. Touch boat, then I touch you. My click ride and we rough too. She wanna fuck L's, then that's cool. Long as she let me fuck too. Whack shit for promo, this what we come to. No views off my family, don't say I ain't warn you. How could you hurt me? Sweet as a Hershey, verses are not worthy. Bitch, I do you dirty. Step or get left, we got the right to be ill. And this is how a cypher should get killed. Ski out.
Step or get left, we got the right to be ill. And this is how a cypher should be killed, huh? Louis.
Yeah.
Welcome to your monthly peace report. This is the peace dealer. I hope you saw that. I hope you saw what I saw. If you understand Aquarius, which one of those rappers was the Aquarius, if you remember? But if you think of Aquarius as a masculine collective, if those are all women rapping, or if it was some men and some women, even if it was women that brought a masculine energy, that's Aquarius, yo. That was a cipher. I saw some of y'all talking about when they could have been born. That video, shout out to Stepper Get Left, by the way. Shout out to Bo, shout out to History, shout out to, of course, everybody. Right? History is actually Sagittarius, believe it or not. But that video is 9 years old. I was in like my mid to early 20s when that came out. Yeah, it was like 2012. That was 2012 when that came out. Bo is now like a teacher. He's like an elementary or grade school teacher. Shout out to Bo. Bo's a Libra son. The first one was a Capricorn. The second one was a Libra. Yak Boy, I'm not sure. And the one after him, I'm not sure. But yeah. Bo and Els. Yeah, that was 9 years ago. But I thought that was a good one to play. By the way, Els was the Aquarius. But I thought that was a good one to play because that pretty much encapsulates the energy of Aquarius. The one with the music off, I don't know his zodiac sign, but I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, I don't know what his birthday is, but I would like to know. But I know he's from St. Louis. Yeah. But they all killed that. And what you see is a collective of individuals who've all mastered their skills, and they all come together, produce some cool shit. Bo said he hangs out with weirdos. That's Aquarius. That's Aquarius, the weirdo of the zodiac. So like, yeah. I put the link to that if you guys want to ever hear that again. The link to that is down below. But yeah. I'm actually really excited to do this because, as you can see, I'm glad we're doing this relatively at the beginning of Aquarius season. It's the 28th right now. The sun is about like 6 degrees. So yeah, that link is in the description box below. You can refresh the page if you don't see it, but it'll be the first thing there. It's like having a party. First of all, I want to just get into the practice of gratitude. Thank you all for being here. Be present in this moment. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for valuing this. I'm glad that this speaks to you, and I do set the intention that you get the message you need to hear from this, and we just do the damn thing like we always do. I feel like at this stage of the journey, it's like a huge milestone that we're all coming to and through collectively. And I'm grateful to share this and how, we can all learn from this and kind of move forward. I'm also and how you can take a piece of this and share it, and then exponentially create this effect. I'm not even gonna say trickle effect, but like connection effect. I'm also grateful for this format, for all of you who are our YouTube members, $1 Billion Vibe Tribe. Shout out to the God Squad members. Shout out to the Infinity Club members. I'm glad we were able to make that change. The tiers were a lot more expensive at first. The Infinity Club was $99 at a time, which was cool because it included a 20-minute monthly call. And shout out to those of you OGs who are a part of that. And I'm just so glad we were able to just switch to a much simpler format. Now Infinity Club is $24.99. God Squad is like, I think $10.99, and then $1 Billion Vibe Tribe is $3.99. I'm going to be resuming the Oracle cards on Monday, but I just like the format where I get to contribute these publicly. Save, I think, the Oracle cards. Those are exclusive for $1 Billion Vibe Tribe. But like these live videos, I get to contribute publicly, and then I can save the replay for exclusively for members, which is really cool. I feel like we all win that way. Once I finish kind of constructing the programming schedule, then I will work on having regular updates, especially since some of y'all don't get notified when I go live. Then I'll make sure, you'll know a week in advance what time I'll be going live in case you're not a member. Then if you can't catch the replay, you'll know when to catch the live, which is cool. Or even if I just premiere something. But yeah, so shout out to all of y'all who are members, okay, supporting the channel. Just to give you oh my God. Just to give you an idea of where we're headed, moving forward, or an idea of what I want to do with the membership. Ideally, eventually, not too long, but I'm going to create my own membership service on my own website, and I'll integrate all of that to that website. That way you don't have to pay this membership, that membership, and this membership. It'll all just be one central membership. So that's like the long-term vision. Eventually we'll migrate from YouTube. It's going to be a literal mothership that'll abduct as much as I can from the internet. Noah had an arc. The Peace Dealer has a mothership. We'll be in we'll pretty much traverse the universe in the new Peace Mobile. It's a lot to look forward to. So shout out to you, Kiki. Oh yeah, I remember that because that was before I knew how to make it public or not. So I was like, okay, I didn't post. I was like, wait a minute, how are you getting here? That was awesome. Okay, so yep, straight up. Shout out to Christy. Let's welcome Christy to God Squad. This is shout out to you. All God Squad members get access to the monthly tribe reports and all the weekly tarot horoscopes. Woo. Oh, you already know. All right, so I think we have enough people here. I'm taking a somber approach to this because 6 degrees into this transit, there's already a very cool feel to this. There's already a very cosmic sense to this where I don't think it's just me, but I think many of you are processing and coming into knowledge in just 6 days than you have all year 2022. And I'm here to tell you that's not just in your head. It can be very easy for you to think it's in your head with Mercury that just finished its retrograde in the 12th. And I want to welcome Claudia to Infinity Club. Welcome. Infinity Club members get access to this monthly peace report, the invocation ceremony, the cosmic energy tune-up, which was a complete banger, and they're all in the community tab, and every other one of the tiers. So welcome, Claudia. Thank you very much. Welcome to Infinity Club. So I just the first thing I kind of want to speak on before we even start the transit, if you're here, that's why if you're here, I really am grateful to transmit this message because there's so many layers upon which, especially you knowing who you are, brings so much context to the most mundane of things, like you watching this YouTube video. This YouTube video, for example, being akin to an initiation. The fact that you're here right now means that you're ready to step through a cosmic door that I'm anchoring and holding space for. If you see this as a portal. So we're literally functioning a ritual collectively, just doing this, which you'll notice more of when you tap into that state, most of which y'all have already known just watching me and also being in situations like this. So in that vein, the layers that I want to bring into this. Thank you. That's so thank you. This is so important to really keep in mind. Aquarius is the collective air sign. If you think about the self-aware concepts, the thoughts that exist, the individual thoughts, right? Self-aware concepts you can say are as gods that are aware of themselves. These self-aware concepts create social environments with which they can debate and communicate and share ideas and bridge ideas and concepts. And amidst these social mores and social environments, you now have a collective of social environments filled with individuals. And that collective is represented by Aquarius. So if you think about the concept and quality of the knowledge that is created from all these individual ideas connecting together to come into a collective knowledge through a narrative or understanding, this is also keying into the quality of the collectives and social activities that occur within the collectives. So with that being said, this is, like mentioned earlier, tying the pieces together towards a full understanding of how advanced you've pretty much been your whole life, and now higher total knowledge of what's really occurring through other people who vibrate at your frequency, who also give you pieces of the puzzle in ways that resonate very deeply. And the reason why I want to say this is the fact that you're here right now means that this vibrational exchange we're having is triggering not just the next step for you, but what I'm really picking up. And I don't want to just say channeling. The analogy I have to give to you, I keep seeing the vision of Neo, who was just working his 3D job, and then Morpheus called him like, hey, you're being followed by agents right now, and you're just gonna have to make this decision right now on if you are really about it or not. And it's almost like his fourth wall got broken. I don't want to say that I'm Morpheus, but like imagine if this medium you're watching right now is plugging you into a whole new different world that you're getting ready to go through. I want you to look at this chart right here, okay? You are in between worlds right now. You are in between worlds right now, and you're in a portal. Like, think about the 255 people who you're watching this with, and you, instead of seeing them as separate from you, think about how ultimately we do represent this collective energetic body that came for this moment and is generating some kind of magic just due to the mental focus. That energy is a portal in and of itself that us individually tap into. That's why some of you unconsciously are doing ritual work while you're doing this. This is like tapping into a free energy generator. And the reason I want to say it like that is now in this Aquarius season, you're coming into the final knowledge of what the meaning of this is, what the meaning of what you're doing in your life is, what your abilities are. And now the somber, serious tone I'm taking with this, you are in between worlds in the sense where in less than 2 months, we are facilitating the beginning of the end of the world. And 2 years from now, we're bringing in the new world. So Saturn going into Pisces, if you think of Neptune in Pisces as the veil, and Pisces as that veil that separates both worlds, which is why you're not necessarily too perceptive of metaphysical phenomena happening in the 3D, which would probably just induce psychotic episodes in many people reasonably and understandably. This is being cut down with Saturn. This whole phenomena of the veil is thinning isn't necessarily delusional as it may sound. This is really more referencing this 30-year cycle of Saturn instituting and then cutting the veil. If you think of every 28, 30 years, we have elements of where it's the strongest versus where it weakens. And it doesn't have to be specific to this, but if you look at Saturn meeting Neptune as cutting that veil, as we end the old world and the illusions of that old world cut. And then, of course, it establishes a new cycle with Aries. That was powerful. So, and the only people who really understand this are Pisces risings, Pisces moons, Pisces suns. Watch them say in the chat. They'll co-sign me right now. Aquarians know. Capricorn's energies have an idea, right? But like Pisces, people who are beyond this are here to kind of facilitate that end. And then this is why you'll see Pisces with Aries, because they're starting something new. They're manifesting something new with them. But like, yeah, this is bringing in with the nodes an end to everything referencing the totality of Saturn's representation of everything. And before mysteries get revealed that have been sealed since ancient time, this is the celestial final exam. Okay, before the Viltrumites come through, this is almost like Invincible or certain celestials testing humanity as a whole. This is the second part of the final boss battle series that started with Capricorn. Sagittarius was our ascension and entrance out of the underworld into godhood, which you do every year. But this now featured the final boss battle of Pluto that's leaving Capricorn, Saturn that's leaving Aquarius, and Jupiter, which left Pisces, but Poseidon here, just being sneaky, just being very mysterious. And this is the most serious. And shout out to those of you who aced the exam. That Capricorn was the very first important one. If you guys watched the Chunin exam, did you notice the Chunin exam happened in 3 stages? You had the written test, okay, and then you had the forest of death, and then you had the one-on-one fights. So I'm not going to take that analogy too serious. I just wanted to show you the 3 stages. It's very important that we break down this stage. I can break down the 3 stages now that you finished one of them. And you don't necessarily have to be convinced that you just went through a final boss battle. Okay. So the reason why I have to really be somber here, Melissa Universally, welcome to God Squad. Thank you very much. Okay. Those of you who aced the Capricorn season battle, you're well prepared for Aquarius season. Those of you who failed the Capricorn season battle, Aquarius season is going to be exceptionally difficult to you to prepare you for the final stage. Saturn wants to hook you up, even though Saturn's going to be ruthless to you, because if you go into Pisces season at least not balanced, that's it. You'll never be the same again. That's it. You're not going to exit Pisces with your sanity. Okay. In the most practical means, those who passed the Capricorn season get their rewards this Aquarius season and then experience them Pisces season. If you failed Capricorn season, you're rebalancing Aquarius. So instead of getting rewards, you actually address the failures of Cap and it balances you. Unless you refuse to address those failures and you don't have integrity. So let's say the Capricorn, this is Plutonian, right? Let's say the Capricorn boss battle was kicking the addiction of eating cupcakes. You eat too much cupcakes and they're just so good. And you fight that boss battle in Capricorn season and you're like, okay, I'm not going to eat cupcakes anymore. And then your friend calls you immediately and it's like, yo, can you come to the store with me? And you finally get to the store and then your friend literally hands you a whole plate of the sexiest cupcakes ever. Like, oh yeah, I had some cupcakes. Did you want any? And you're weak right now. You're weak because you were caught off guard, but you're like, nah, I don't even eat cupcakes anymore. And now your friend is crossing your boundaries, like, nah, take the cupcake. Screw you, just cheat this one day. And you're fighting, and you're like, I may the Lord rebuke you. You know what I'm saying? And you make it through. You make it through that whole season. You don't eat a single cupcake. And so Aquarius season, now you get the rewards of not eating cupcakes. Remember, Aquarius season is neural pathways. So now you've kicked that addiction. You've strengthened your mind. Now you see you get the results you wanted. If you're trying to lose weight, now you're starting to lose weight. If you wanted to replace it with something else, you get that. And now in Pisces, you're experiencing the effects of what you wanted. But let's say you failed this and you had too many cupcakes. By the way, you get the rewards in Aquarius season, and now you eat some cupcakes in Pisces season. But because you've built the mind, you're not addicted to cupcakes anymore. So you might have one or two, but that's it. You don't even really eat it. But let's say you fail that boss battle. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And by the way, I like what Airbender Ecstasy said. There's the wrong way certain people do this is going cold turkey, because it's like, oh, this isn't spiritual, so I'm not going to do this. It's integrity based. Integrity based means people get integrity wrong and feel like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. This is not what you're supposed to do. Integrity means if it's a part of your path, you stay true to it. You stay true to what actually. So like, it's not about, is it wrong or right to do this? One person can do it and the other person can do it, the other thing. But what makes both with integrity is that they moderate it. They stay true to what they're doing. So I really like that point. This is really more so because you want to stop, and so you're just staying true to that law, right? Versus, okay, you do it, but you know, however you decide to do it, you just stay true to it, okay? Regardless of what other people think, this is very important. But let's say you just keep eating, you know what I'm saying? And if you believe in cold turkey, go cold turkey. You know what I'm saying? That works too. I do that too personally. So, you know, let's say you eat all those cupcakes. You eat all those cupcakes and you don't even try to stop eating cupcakes, and you just completely fail the lesson. Failed because you had a goal you wanted to do and you gave in to your own habits, which didn't allow you to achieve the goal. This is very important. Not because of some opinion of it's bad to do. That's the shadow aspect of it. Some people try and shame guilt. It's really more so because you didn't be a person of your word, let's just say. Cool. Now, Aquarius season, Saturn gets your attention by now you might have diabetes. You ate too much cupcakes, or now your stomach isn't well. Like Saturn tests you and is like, okay, you have to deal with this. Now it's not something you can like, instead of getting the rewards in Aquarius season, Saturn is like, nope, you're not going to Pisces season like this. So it's literally trying you. And now it's giving you tests that you have to address, right? And now it's like, okay, well, you didn't do it Capricorn season. Now you have to do it Aquarius season. And so in Aquarius season, you might stop eating cupcakes and then start working out, or at least being healthy, because you ate too many cupcakes. And, you know, you finally passed the test in Aquarius season, and now you dodge the risk because you met the test you brought yourself in through. And in Pisces season, now at least you were balanced out. Or you can fail the second test and still eat cupcakes. I mean, like, I don't care if my stomach hurts. And then in Pisces season, you die because you ate too. That the third final boss, Neptune, will just wash you. And then Neptune will just put an illusion over you and be like, you can have all the cupcakes ever. It's all good. And then you'll literally eat yourself to death. So the path is all up to you. How do we know what the test is? That's a very important question. The test is anything that's challenging you on the route to your goals. These are usually going to be tied to intrinsic values and the virtues. So maybe you might be tested on patience. Maybe you might be tested on discipline. The way that might manifest for you will be unique to your own personal situation, but relative to Saturn and Aquarius, the true test is what integrity do you have towards your own self relative to false narratives in the collective. And this is the purpose of the celestial final exam that I'll break down and explain, because with the false narratives, you could be guided to believe that you have to ace a certain test that's not even what you're truly being examined on. So there's certain liars in the collective who want everyone to be worried about A, B, C, and D, but you're getting tested on X, Y, and Z. So they have everyone all focused on and glorifying A, B, C, and D, like base 3D stuff. But what you're actually getting tested on is X, Y, and Z. So how do you know if you're the one that's doing the ABC or if you're doing the X, Y, and Z? You may ask yourself, what if I'm one of those people who's caught up in the A, B, C, D, and E? Well, this is why I'm glad you already are aware of the first Capricorn test. This is how you'll know. Over the past 10 years, every time you tried to study X, Y, and Z, you were ridiculed for it. You weren't supported for it. In fact, you were made fun of it. It's like it was taboo. Like, oh, don't do X. No, I don't believe X, Y, and Z. That's rubbish. It's A, B, C, and D. That's delusional. It's almost as if, but you resonated with it versus doing A, B, C, and D, which, was accepted. You'd be accepted, but just wasn't it. It's just something off, right? Well, that's the play. Get as much people to be obsessed with A, B, C, and D, so that now that we're at this celestial final exam, as much people as possible will fail X, Y, and Z, and then they won't make it to the new world. And so with this analogy, right, you want to be super excited. Count it all joy when you go through challenges, because if you're being tested on this exam, that means the celestial advanced nature of consciousness through the gods have chosen you and want you to exhibit everything you've awakened. They know you're going to ace this exam the way you aced Capricorn season's exam. And these challenges are specifically tailor-made for you to enjoy the rewards you gain from, of course, advancing. Aquarius is a sign of advancements and advanced quality, advancing through this season. Okay. Before I talk about this, though, I definitely want to set up the preface for the significance of this. So this is where, if you wow, this is where if you are born in 1993 or 1991 or 1992, this is definitely going to hit for you. And all the Pluto generations too. Shout out to those of y'all going through your Saturn return. The nature of the awakening of your abilities is to support celestial contact. So throughout the past 30 years and in 12 years, because not everyone is at 30 years yet, so these are just different respective cycles. Some people were born 30 years ago. Some people were born in between the 30-year cycle and 12-year cycle. Some people were born within the 12-year cycle. So that means you're caught within that wave. You were awakening different capabilities in your psychic abilities, intellectual capabilities, that because you don't just do it's not necessarily just done all at once, right? There's so much different facets you learn as you grow up, right? It's buffering for some of y'all. That's crazy. Thanks for the heads up. So with that being said, all of this is preparing you to connect with higher vibrational beings. Everyone is at some point connecting through an ability to ascend to their higher faculties. Just your superpower is that no one else is you. So the way that you ascend, or the way that you tap into an ascension state, or the way you tap into ascension energy is completely unique. Like no one really experiences it the same way, because now this is the actualization of your own fractal and inner universe within you of God. Right? So everything that you have been experiencing is you learning to experience and connect with your higher self, but also celestial beings. Hence the synchronicities that you are shared. The synchronicity is actually an inner and outer sync between the higher version of yourself and this version of yourself. So when angels show you signs, this is neuro-linguistic programming to, at a deep subconscious level, teach you how to see them. It's not like learning how to meet Joe or Betty down the road who vibrates at your frequency. Celestial and angelic beings and higher vibrational frequencies vibrate at such near infinite speeds. What they can do in 1 second is what would take us like 5 months for us to do and process. So if they were to completely connect as they are, most people's brains would explode just by having to process all of what they're revealing to you in one moment, where just one tower moment can just devastate us. So of course, which naturally is the whole purpose for these cycles. I mean, then again, you have some crazy ass Aquarians and Pisces who just stay loopy. So maybe they can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's different, but like there's a need, of course, for this process. Now, compound that on the fact that you're getting deceived at a high vibrational level on a daily basis, down to like frequencies being bombarded at you. So you're blocked. If you read the book of Daniel, an analogy of this is how Daniel was praying to God, and he waited for the prayer to really come to pass, and an angel visited him like, hey, when you had first prayed that prayer to us, we received the prayer, but in bringing it down to you, the fallen angels were fighting us. It's such a marvelous concept. You feel me? Just like this buffering right here. The fallen angels were fighting Archangel Michael and Gabriel from getting the prayer to Daniel, which is the whole process of, Daniel kept faithful. See that analogy? Like there's all of this interference that if you don't stay faithful, the angels still come through, but like they fight to get this message to you. And that transmission from aligning your higher and lower self is representative of that process. So considering that, this period is so important because not only does it serve as a selection process, this is opening you up to the wider scope of the greater mythos of your existence, where now creatures that you may have been taught were fantasy creatures aren't really fantasy creatures at all. Worlds that you thought didn't exist may actually exist beyond this world. And little to nothing of what we think is. If you think realistically and consciously, despite what you're told about the world, how much of the world have you physically seen and explored to the point that you trust people who are telling you what it looks like? And I'm not trying to say that means the world is flat around. I'm just saying realistically. So what if you had connection with the celestial being who can just let you can channel the knowledge from? All right. What if not only do you channel the knowledge from this celestial being that personally connects to you, almost like it's your higher self, right? But what if you can harness its energy and unique power to enhance your bodily function to now answer these questions yourself? What if there's a celestial war, kind of like the war against the fallen angels, right? That are fighting, where there's some evil celestials versus some good celestials, like fallen angels and good angels. So what if, just like you have the Prince of Persia, what if these higher beings enable evil evil beings or evil aliens or evil people through the darkness and corruption of their heart, people who don't have chastities and virtues? And what if these people, out of selfishness and greed, hid the truth from the collective and now instituted technology, food, frequency warfare to inundate and interfere with most people's process of understanding their connection with their own celestial? See how I'm doing this? What if the connection to that higher being is here as a transmitter? Your brain receives frequencies and emits frequencies. What if the universe within is the remote control to this higher being? As above, so below, right? The reason why I don't have to say what if is every single one of you that has passed this boss battle, you've done so in part of this celestial connection. So you already know that you've channeled specific angels, beings. Okay. And what if you have been selected to lead forth the new world in fighting this war against the dark celestials and those possessed like puppets who are instilling their agenda? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, I made a mistake. Welcome to Aquarius season 2023. Oh, nice. Welcome to Aquarius season 2023, where after you pass this celestial final exam, you're coming into with Saturn full and final and total knowledge, almost as if your crown chakra is receiving an instruction manual of how to connect fully with this higher part of yourself and even sustain ascension or transformation states where it can synchronize with your body. Welcome to godhood. By the time you finish this Aquarius season, You'll be connected with an exclusive celestial being. There's billions, if not trillions, of angels and celestials. Just like scientists say there's like billions of galaxies. Imagine if every galaxy was created by a celestial. So you have a personal celestial being and world that you contact, almost as if from the fourth dimension it controls you like a video game. What if your whole life was coming into connection with that? And now it's finally revealing itself to you. So the Pluto boss battle was the full awakening of your shadow, and you're taking your shadow to Aquarius season. If you conquered your shadow, now you can do this final boss battle, this celestial final exam with an integrated shadow. The reason why it has to happen like this celestial facet of yourself, the analogy that I'm going to use is, imagine if you had a god that connects with you, a celestial being or an angel. This is, some of you are getting chills because the past week you've probably been getting powerful messages of, hey, like, I'm reaching out to you. I've selected you. You go hard as fuck. I've been dealing with all these fake ass mortals. You actually do the work. What's up? I'm showing you all these signs. It's almost like you're talking to a cool ass motherfucker that's a god, B. Some of you are incarnations of these beings. Some of you have karmic relationships with these beings. Some of you share karma with these beings. Am I crazy? Does this resonate? I want to make sure this is real for you, because the fact that this is real for you is nuts. Is it external? That's such a good question. Everything is internal. Your consciousness projects your internal experience so you can experience this world you're creating. So that was a very good question. Nothing is outside of you. So this connection is within your world, but there's a celestial expression of it as your higher self. But the lie of the dark celestials is to reverse the process, so you give your power away to these beings and be like, no, you need our products, you need our insight, no, you need the knowledge from our experts, we're concerned for your safety, you have to do what we say. Now they're changing your DNA. Let's get it. Come on now. You don't know how much of a threat you are, because now you can tap into your own celestial guidance. And so you don't need money for this. Listen. This is lit. Imagine, my friend. Listen, imagine right after this transit, you have Saturn is liberation. Saturn is liberation. So you're unlocking liberation in your own way. Imagine you finally finish the final exam, you get your badge, and it's like, oh wow, I know a celestial that actually has real estate in the Andromedan galaxy and is well known within the universe. And so I can talk to this celestial through my mind telepathically. It's not outside of me, it's within me, but like it expresses itself around me. And like, I just got put through a situation where I have no money, I have no food. Hey, let's say the celestial's name is Jerry. Hey, Jerry, I already know what you're about to ask. Go 2 doors away from you. Knock on the door. Hey, are you Michael? Yeah. Here's a bunch of food. I guess you needed it. Like, bro, it's like a world within a world you're unlocking. It's like a world within a world. Imagine if you had a you that's outside the matrix that you can just connect with at any time. And it's like, okay, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do that, and you'll get like $50,000 here if you do this. This is your power. This is the power that they are afraid you'll awaken, because once you have that kind of connection, no one can govern over you. No one can manipulate you. Literally, someone can walk up to you and your counterpart is like, oh, this person's trying to scam you. And you're going to be like, I knew it. I already, thank you. I already saw that bullshit. Thanks for the confirmation. It's like, this is developing your relationship with God through your sun sign, through the spirit, the Holy Spirit. The power is within you. And so this is why you have to be tested. The dark celestials want a dark revival so that through succumbing people into their base states without them tapping into the higher consciousness with purity, they awaken abilities. The whole thing is not that they're trying to stop people from awakening abilities. They want people to awaken abilities. They're tempting people with witchcraft and all this dark magic so that they tempt people into awakening their abilities through contracts and giving up pieces of their souls. You've been selected to do it the right way, which is why Spirit has taken its time with you. It's building a masterpiece. You're not some cheap McDonald's meal. You're the full course meal. You're being made with love. You're soul food. You're being presented in a way where people are going to feel you deep in your soul. And you have had faith in this invisible connection that before you even knew what was happening, you have faith. This is why your higher self counterparts fuck with you. For some of them it's one. For some of you, you've had some like in childhood and then they interchanged with other people. For some of you, you know around the block and you have a lot of celestials that you can, like, some of you are kings and queens that can summon like a whole Rolodex, like, hey, what's happening. Like, you're going to be expanding upon your consciousness to realize you are a much greater being. Like, you're not limited here. This is just, and it's going to literally step you into liberation. And this is why you have to be tested. Because if the celestial tests that you don't have integrity and now bestows you this power, this is like giving power to a supervillain. Thank you. And and this is what the dark celestials are doing to other people who don't have integrity. This is preparing you for Aries season, where it's going to establish the initial conflict to end the tribulation period, where you're at war. You're literally fighting with your powers other people with their powers. The revolution. And it doesn't have to look like a sci-fi movie where everyone is shooting laser beams and blasters. We're talking about enhanced brain mechanics, sharper subtlety and intuition. A little goes a long way. You will have some people blasting people. You will have some people mastering telekinesis. You will have people who can control minds. The thing with the veil you're going to be revealed is that this has always been here. We've never, ever, ever had a period where there's never been superpowers. But the dark cloud came through in light of Roman Catholicism, the Enlightenment period, and fake science to give you the impression that psychic abilities aren't true. So it's very misleading to say everyone's awakening powers. We're awakening powers, but this is just another bi-millennial update that has been updating every 30 years and 100 years forever. You can see it in the DNA sequence. Ever since the beginning of creation, superpowers and supernatural abilities have always been a thing. You have abilities. There's no such thing as a muggle. A muggle isn't someone that doesn't have magic abilities. A muggle is someone who does not actualize their magical potential. Everyone is psychic. If being smart or being perceptive is a quality, just like being psychic, it's not a good or bad thing to be psychic. Everyone is psychic. Everyone is magical. Magical is just an attribute of your being. But society has made these taboo so you don't develop it. That's it. You have been deceived to be unconscious of these occult themes through fear, shame, and guilt, which is the biggest red flags. Okay, now you're in a position where it's all activating, but you're uplifting out this illusion of figuring out how to use and activate this when you are it. You are it. You most definitely are it. Okay. And now the most important thing about this is many are called, few are chosen, right? So many people have been lied to about this development. And because they're unconscious of the psychic nature of their potential, it literally creates mental illnesses with which now they can exploit this deception through a very corrupt medical industry that only purports and feeds this, not fully educating the people who do this, further continuing the chain. So a lot of you need to really pat yourself on the back for continuing traditions in your own way. Like let me tell you the truth. By 10 years old, you're supposed to know complex transit information, and you're supposed to have a pure connection to your celestial being. And some of you are that cold. So you cannot beat yourself up. Some of you are beating yourself up because you're just awakening now at this level. You know what I'm saying? You feel, and you have no right, you have absolutely no right to beat yourself up because you might have bloomed late. You have been completely lied to your entire life, and despite being lied to, you still made the decision to walk the narrow path to believing yourself. Do you know how like insanely incredible that is? Like despite the odds, you self-taught yourself something that you were supposed to be taught. Like you were brainwashed during the formulative years that your brain was supposed to understand this. So like there's literally no place where you can't not look at yourself as incredible to still make it to this point. And that is just the facts. And that is just the facts. So you're being tested through this final exam to see how much of everything you've learned since you've activated this journey you're ready to take with you. This is the higher facet of your soul that has traveled with you since you were born, and it's going to test you on everything you've learned, so that once you've passed this exam, you unlock liberation of all the power you've just awakened. Does that make sense? You have just awakened in Capricorn, your shadow. That was the Sun Pluto. That was the first boss battle, to conquer your shadow by conquering these collective battles. It awakened the power. Now we're taking this power to Aquarius, so that once we pass this final exam, we can unlock all of the knowledge of this power we awakened. And then Neptune, we're going to experience it. Neptune's going to transcend it and take the experience to a level beyond everything. So this is where you're coming into full knowledge of what every single person along this journey, like your celestial counterpart, is going to be like, see that person you've been talking to, they're actually a part of your angel clan. This is their true name. They're probably not awakened to that. See that person, they were always awakened to that, but they knew you were going through your period of awakening, so they didn't say anything. See that person that's antagonizing you, they're actually part of a demon clan that is connected to a dragon clan. You're coming into precise details and knowledge. And what's going to kill you inside is that many of you are going to be like, wow, I was right the whole time. I thought I was crazy. Listen, everything that you thought you were fucking schizoid crazy for, you're going to realize, wow, I was right. Oh my gosh, I was actually right. You were still crazy. You were still crazy. Hold on, you were probably still crazy, but you were right. But you were right. Your inability to process the higher advanced nature of this knowledge induced the sense of psychosis because your mind was actively expanding, but you couldn't see the expansion of the spirit. So it just felt like you were going fucking crazy. It's a good crazy. Now you've sustained this. You have completed the download process. And before you harness this software that's going to change your fucking life, Pisces, you have to be tested on this first. This is no different than this. Listen, this body is your vehicle. Pluto and Capricorn awakened this power in your body. So before you drive this car, what do you have to do? You have to take a driving test. Every single one of you that has a license has to be tested on your proficiency to drive. Otherwise, you're going to be killing people with your car. You're going to be fucking up your car. You're going to be killing people with your abilities. If you get so angry and you don't have good morals, and then you use your psychic abilities to harm people, which is like using a knife to harm somebody, right? Which is why you need to have a license to carry a gun. Versus if you pass the test and you've shown that you can control your anger and you remember, you know who you are, boom, you're given that license. You've passed the proficiency. But listen, people with licenses shoot and kill people all the time, crash cars. So it's not the license that makes you a good person. It's just a badge of authenticity to show, okay, this person has enough proficiency to handle this. So after you finish this test, okay, Pisces season is going to transcend your experience, and Saturn in Pisces is going to now be the final process of mastering this experience. So, Pisces season is where you drive this car finally and you realize, oh my God, this car can fly. This is crazy. You might realize your friend has a more advanced model car and his car or her car can teleport. You might find someone else has a car that can go to different star systems. Like everyone has a unique car. Neptune is transcending your experience to, okay, I used to do this, now I'm fine. Now, Saturn over the next 2 years is the mastery of you when you first drove a car versus you 2 years after driving a car. It hits different. First year, it's like, wow. Second year, it's like, what's good? By the time it's 2 years, now you've mastered use of the superpower. And the reason why this is important is this is the beginning of the end of the world, and you're going to be seeing tribulation like apocalyptic scenarios that if you don't use your superpowers to get through, you're probably not going to make it through. And Saturn in Aries is going to be the revolution to bring in the new world with your mastered superpowers, and you'll be more fully the super self you are now. This is Doctor Strange and Peter Parker going through their character arcs to ask themselves, are they really about this hero life? Verse 2 years from now, where now they've been in 2 Avengers movies and now they're ready to do Endgame. You feel what I'm saying? I know this is, we didn't even start the report yet. I know this is hitting hard. If this is hitting hard for you, please comment exclamation mark. I want to make sure that this resonates very hard because there's an extra dimensional component to this entire Aquarius season that if you give in to false narratives and try and act too cool, like you're, this is only the 3D is real, it will go over your head. You'll literally miss your birthright and inheritance. And there's the dark celestials want nothing more than that. So one of the major themes of Aquarius season is coolness and peer pressure. Aquarius brings different social mores, judgment and prejudice over the dark side of elitism from the 12th house Capricorn. This group is cooler than that group is cooler than this group. And you're seeing this form of celestial warfare in the form of guild wars, reference divine RPG of different groups fighting each other for supremacy and social control. It's a culture war. It is a culture war. You have people who are caught up in the culture war, focusing externally, and you have other people who are not even focused on it because they're focused internally. And this is the precipice with which this total culmination of the Saturn conjunction actually crystallizes the final level of your superpower development through the finalization, post synchronization of the neural pathways that support your badassery. And the coolest thing about this is along the way, you've developed supernatural gifts. So it's not like I'm talking to people who are like, I've never experienced superpowers in my whole life. By the way, if you're watching this and you've never experienced supernatural abilities, you're either very young, like under 10, or you've nerfed yourself because you're not necessarily aware of it. It's very possible that some of you may have lived your whole life unaware of your abilities. People like that are super powerful, and it just takes them a lot longer to be aware. Like there's a whole class of people who your powers are unconscious. They're auto nervous. So like there's some people who manipulate reality and they don't even know they do. There's animes based on this concept. Like you don't even know that when you get angry, shit happens and you have a whole team of angels that literally have to clean up around you because you literally were weeping for 30 minutes and now a tsunami happened 60 miles away from you and you have no idea that that happened because of you. Does that make sense? This Aquarius season is bringing you total knowledge of all the understanding and awareness of everything you had nescience of. This is why Aquarius is the mind of God, omniscience. Nescience references the truth that you don't know what you don't know. So, what if you had a higher self and celestial counterpart that makes up for what you don't know? That with this duo and tag team, just as long as you have faith, it can cover everything you don't know and you walk more confidently, kind of like you have a pie in the sky. After this, Pisces season is going to be amazing because you're going to walk into rooms without having any information and you'll come into the knowledge real time. Or you can have Uranus in Aquarius and Neptune in Aquarius, and you'll walk into the room already auto nervously knowing. So you're walking into the room knowing, ooh, these people are going to try and do this. And that's what's happening. Does that make sense? It's almost, some of you are going to be that person in Men in Black 3. Those of you with nodal contacts and Sagittarius or Virgo, where it's like, ooh, this is going to happen in 5 seconds. The person who can see destiny, who they're trying to find, oh, in 5 seconds, this is going to happen, or this possibility can happen. There's a whole generation of people like that. So this is so amazing because there's a darker component to this. This is where we're going to get a little dark. And this is the dark part of the New Age. A lot of New Age doctrine is misleading and deceptive because it gives you this whole utopian ideal that we can all get along. But there's a lot much darker things brewing. Okay. This final exam also serves as a selection process because, first of all, in a very messed up way, a lot of the elite, like there is greediness and like dark intent, but there's another side of this dark energy where it's a more detached and cold way to deal with overpopulation, but more so the selection process of souls. So the celestials and the dark celestials reached compromise to where there was a grace period through which people can be prepared for, which I kind of spoke in it before when I was speaking on that, you know, if this period was enlarged, even the elect would be wiped out. And that's because, similar to the days of Noah, there's so much sin, there's so much negativity and evil out of this deception and people being out of alignment with who they are, which now creates distortions of pure energy. The evil projects a frequency that displeases the gods and celestials. And once we've reached this peak point that we're in, post-selection process, post-selection process, right? Once the grace period is over, these celestials are going to come through in different worlds, not just this planet, and just wreck shop. That's the Pluto Aquarius period, the return. You were lied to about what happened the last time Pluto's in Aquarius. And the nature of alien contact and extraterrestrial contact, of course, which coincides with the development of major regions and the occult, Masonic, Freemasonic underlaying, nature of the rulers who took over. Pluto Aquarius was the last time in the 1700s that mass alien extraterrestrials came through. It's like one group of extraterrestrials lost the war with another group and they instituted new management. So Pluto Aquarius is going to now be the period where you have more celestials coming back. We didn't have technology to record this in the 1700s. That's why you don't necessarily see any paintings or cameras or anything like that. So you're in a unique period of time where now people are seeing cloaked ships within clouds. They've always been here, and it's from within. They're not coming from the sky. They've possessed human hybrids. So people are looking for aliens up in the sky, but the alien takeover is going to be 76% of human beings whose consciousnesses just get taken over by latent genetics, demon genes. Some of you are already starting to see this because some of you are angels. This is the selection process. Those celestials and angels in the light are selecting those who are pure in preparation before these dark celestials and gods come through and just slaughter those of you who've been selected, who have the blood around. You're going to have your own abilities and be safe and protected. This is what this process was for. So this is why those people who've tapped in, if you don't tap in, you're not going to have that celestial connection. When shit hits the fan and the grace period is over, you're going to just be out here on a battlefield looking stupid. Versus those of you've connected with the personal world within. When shit hits the fan, you have 20 minutes to leave. Do you have your bag? Okay, go down 5 meters. You're going to have fun. You're not even going to be afraid. You're having a connection to something beyond this world, and you're going to feel more purposeful than ever. And the cool thing is, you've always done this. So the first part of this is you're going to awaken to the unconscious sense of how you've always done this. You're just going to be more aware of this, and everybody needs to understand this is the coolest thing ever. This is preparing you to walk by faith in Pisces season. That's why you have to integrate your shadow, because if you don't and you go into Pisces season, you'll be walking by fear. It'll just take you over. But now you've already established liberation with the celestial counterpart analogy, and now you're going to be walking by faith. You're going to be preparing that in an Aries season. Boom. But I want you to understand that this selection, this intuition on a trillion, you worked your ass off for this. You worked your ass off for this. Start of the pandemic was Saturn in Capricorn and Jupiter in Capricorn. So relative to the 30 and 12 years that you worked hard for, that's why we all felt that 2020, because that was the first part of the 3-part completion, where boom, we see the rewards for what we did. That's why some people, they got fucked up. They were scamming. They weren't living they were living a lie. They weren't living their truth. And when that came through, they lost jobs. They got exposed. Their life was fucked up. Where you guys, your life was getting better because now the work you did, it all started to come together. Now the path they were ridiculing you because they said you need to get a 3D job, that helped you through the pandemic versus their 3D job that forced them to get butt plugged or they got fired. Karma. This is karma. So like, you have made these facets of you so proud. And I don't know if proud is the feeling, but you're coming into the full knowledge of how much you've fully evolved. And you just gotta really, really just congratulations. It's good to be here with everyone. You know what I'm saying? This is Aquarius season. This is a group of winners. We're literally out here. Okay. Now, every single one of you have so much unique, like there's 4 elements. So some of you are water dominance. Some of you are fire dominance. Some of you are earth dominance. Some of you are air dominance. Some of you are avatars that you have to go to a fire dominant so that they can teach you how to use you're a master of all elements, but you don't have as much strong fire. So you go to a fire dominant, they can teach you the fire. You can bring that out. Like we all have something. Every single person has something that's integral to the cog of this collective. And no matter how insignificant or useless you may seem, if we don't have that one thing, it can throw everything off. This is a collective test. So you're coming into more knowledge of what that one thing you have is. All right. Some of you have multiple things, right? Everyone's different. It all comes back to the law of one. So personally, that was just with the elements. We also have different states. We also have the Hermetic principles. So all of these principles and systems are coming in to establish the law of your own universe that you're now awakening more of. So this is already super cool. The final boss battle was the breakthrough out of the old traditions of the old world that no longer apply to where you're headed. Okay. And shout out to the air and earth dominance. So there's air and earth dominant and affinity, by the way. Your affinity, for example, I'm a bit earth dominant in my chart, but my affinity is air. Your affinity is your sun sign. So you might have a dominant element, but your sun sign is your special element affinity. You could be like a fire dominant water bender or water affinity. So let me know what you think about that. But yeah. Just know the genetic coding within your being is necessary to create elements of where we're headed. So basically, just a snapshot. 2023 to 2025 is where everything changes to bring in a new order of the world, the new world order. And 2025 to 2027 is the institution of eccentric and radical processing dynamics, to where your brain can run limitlessly like you took NZT. Once Uranus goes 2027 into Aquarius, we have completed the tribulation period, and you will have effectively stepped into the creation of integrating all of this new individuality, to where 2025 post into the 2030s, we're creating the new world. We're creating the new society. But this is the tribulation period to see what individuals are going to make it to this new society. And now this 2023 passage with Jupiter now touching down in a Taurus with the North Node is the promised land. So coming out the old world is analogous to Moses setting his people free. And now this is making it to the promised land. But the promised land isn't necessarily finished yet. When they got into the promised land, they had to fight all the beings in the promised land just to settle it and not get killed there. So this is really now this 3-4 year period of making it into the new world. We are in between worlds. Okay. And this is the warfare. We got pestilence, we got death, we got war, we got famine. This is where, for those of you who are connected with this inner God, right? When famine hits and everyone is panicking about food shortages, you can just draw energy from the universe within, or your inner God connect can be like, hey, walk 10 minutes down the street, boom, I'll connect you with food. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or someone's gonna come to take some of what you got because you have this excess. Like, you're just gonna be aligned in flow, slaying the giants. And this is what constitutes you being a target and being hit by psychic attack. But even though the psychic attack is more intense and you're going to be a little bit more vulnerable to it because now you're in attack mode, it's cool because you have more control over these abilities than ever before. Just a heads up, attack mode is going to be Aries season. Hey, if that's what you want to do, everyone's different. And yeah, for those of you who are fasting, you are ahead of the game. Every single one of you who are fasting, you are ahead of the game. You are ahead of the game. Fasting is literally the key to regain you know what I'm saying? And I need to get on that too. I'm definitely going to start fasting, but that's the key to connecting with your body perfectly, to connect with your own energy system. Once your body gets rid of that dependence for this habit, it'll literally just start connecting with your body. And so this is where these scientists are deliberately lying to you so that you don't tap into this potential with their materialist reductionist reasoning. Okay. So yeah, something to keep in mind, because it definitely goes a long way towards that. And yeah. So this final exam, a large facet of it is being aware of the demonic influence by those in your life who's worn masks. You have people who are bad cop and you have people who are good cop. The bad cop are the people who are open with their negative projection of you. And then the good cop are people who are more deceptive. They'll probably talk about you, but they don't talk to you authentically. Like they don't necessarily take serious your frame. When you step into that, it's treated more as a joke. So yeah, they're not necessarily rejecting it, but they're not taking it seriously, which doesn't necessarily actualize it. Okay, these people are being exposed and weeded out, so they don't get clapped. Okay, for some of you, the inner gods that you have, some of your inner gods are more, social and compassionate. Some of your inner gods, some of you Pluto Saturn dominants, be clapping people for looking at you wrong, and you wouldn't even be aware of it. You know what I'm talking about. So you've been getting to know this being your whole life, but you're fully coming into the full knowledge of this. Okay. So yeah. Whew. This is important because the supernatural extent of how you're integrating extra dimensional frequencies and experiences into your consciousness can reasonably make someone go insane, because they're having to process otherworldly facets of existence through hearing things and experiencing things that put their brain in shock. And then there's us weirdos to where it's normal because we do this shit every day. Like it's not even like for you, it's probably not going to be a shock. For other people, it's going to be a fucking shock that like they're seriously experiencing something that's supposed to be sci-fi, but that was your whole last 10 years. So you're going to be in a position to really defend yourself, protect others, God, because you were chosen, you were selected. And so relative to this, you tapping into who you know you are will crystallize your vibration, and it's instantly going to attract hate. This is the second phase of the boss battle. The sin of Leo is pride, and the sin of Aquarius is it's like Aquarius don't got sins. Mm-hmm. But the the higher octave of this pride and prejudice here is going to play in a very subtle sense of what do you respond to. It's going to test your pride, okay? In a sense where if you know that you are a complete and perfect being, then if someone tests your ego, will you even be offended by it? Or would you just feel genuinely sad for that person because they don't even know who they're fucking with? Your answer to that question is going to be a major deciding factor on if you pass this final exam. Because some people think they're God, some people think they're spiritual and holy, but then when they get tried, they just go off the handle. They don't respond as someone who they know they are. They give in to the opinion of swine and sheep and cattle when they're supposed to be the shepherd. It's something that we're all working on. And that's the difference between those working on it and not working on it. Okay. So for those of you who are doing the work is paying off. You're breaking through into the truth of this to where it wasn't just in your head. You were building neural pathways towards every single time you respond in the way you know you are, you're strengthening it. The deception is you feeling the frustration of these projectors projecting, and their frustration is that it's not working. And so the deception is you're going to keep doing this forever, but that's a lie. They're desperate because their time is up. Before they didn't have much time left. Now their time is up. So you're going to see the most desperate maneuvers out of nowhere from people who were faking the funk the entire time, but because you stayed true, the test of time pretty much kind of exposed them without you having to lift a finger. So there we go. I've pretty much kind of explained the most important facet to this. The government has been lying to you. Society has lied to you. You are a supernatural being with superpowers. Your mind and your body allow you to connect with magical celestial beings so that you can heal your body. You can manifest literally anything you want. You are limitless. You don't need any of the technology that you are made to feel you need to buy. You don't need any of the food manufactured and produced for you. You can do anything you fucking want. It's time for you to now unpack the knowledge of that. Your manual is different from everyone else's manual. This is your new car. The vehicle of your body has just come out of the shop. And now the Aquarius season is giving you the instruction manual of the car. And then you are taking the driving test. And so once you pass the driving test, you have a full functioning God level vehicle that enables you to tap into the full potential of your being. This liberation is going to feel blissful through Pisces season, where now you experience the full capability of your potential. And then you'll go into Aries to facilitate a 2-year blood war so that you can fight your way into the new world, where now being a target of dark forces, because you have the audacity to awaken, they're going to send wave after wave over the next 2 years to off you, but you're going to kick ass and take names. And you're going to meet me in 2025. Where we're going to spread our seeds to step into this new cycle of the new world. Let me tell you, once Pluto goes into Aquarius, like, you're literally going to see fleets of aliens just show up out of nowhere. You're going to see so many people get possessed. You're going to see zombie apocalypses. You're going to see war break out. You're going to see more pestilences. And all these people who are acting like they're spiritual, who are acting like they know this and that, we're going to see what God they serve. We're going to see them walking, running around like headless chickens. And then there's going to be you, pure, focused, and aligned, because you passed the final exam. You studied the test. You knew, oh, this was exactly what I studied in chapter 5. They told us this and this is going to happen. And people are like, how the fuck did you know this was going to happen? I did the work. I studied for the test. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So you owe it to yourself to thank yourself. Pull a Snoop Dogg. I just want to thank me. You have no business being hard on yourself for making it to this point. It is a sign that you're one of the ones. Okay, so now knowing that, let us actually now step into, the dark part of the society preys on your low self-esteem. So to actually be someone who knows that all the knowledge that you need comes from within you, that you manifest externally, but it's still from within you. All the power you need comes from within you. If I can prey on your self-esteem to be like, you're delusional, you don't have this study, you didn't study from this university, you don't have this knowledge, you don't know anything, right? That's a magic spell through the form of persuasion and rhetoric. That's worldly wisdom. You don't need that. You don't need that at all. And so that's why you're very dangerous when you know yourself like that, you start to inspire other people. Now, who's going to buy my products? Who's going to go to my schools? If you're inspiring other people that they don't need our institutions. All right. Well, since you think you're woke, I have agents and I have soldiers and a $30,000 government project. We can come up into your spot, slaughter everyone you know and love, and then pay people to not say a word of it, have them all sign NDAs. This is the nature of the enemy you're fighting. And you have angels and celestials who have been fighting on your behalf. While you are just doing your own thing in 3D, you have all these wars happening around you, and some of you are tapping into it. And you give part of your energy through your faith and intent to strengthen those fighting on your behalf. What if I told you you're finally becoming aware of all these dynamics, whereas you could have been aware of it before, but if you were aware of it while you were still going through those lessons, would you have focused on what you were doing at that time, or would you have been so intimidated versus now that you have the strength and you're not intimidated anymore, which is just an element of how genius you are to subconsciously time delay your awakening to a point before you were even aware of what you were doing. Really contemplate that. That's how fucking genius and smart you are. So as you hear me do this, thank you. Everyone has the Force, not just the Jedis. Jedis are just masters of the Force. Trust yourself to know what's best for you and balance your mind with your heart. So as you brave this world that has rejected God and taken a form like God but lacks the quality and substance, you represent one of God's chosen, ready to pioneer this new world. And for that, you should be so excited and proud of your being. In fact, pride is a deadly sin. Grateful and amazed at your being because you made it. Do not let this evil world feel like they have anything they can tell you, because you remained true where everyone else decided to compromise themselves and be fake. Okay? It is an honor to serve every single one of you. Okay? So, for those of you ready for this software upgrade, we're going to get into this monthly peace report. I had to take an hour and 38 minutes just to preface this. This Saturn cycle was here since 1993. Pluto wasn't here since the 1700s, and Neptune wasn't here until the 1800s with the Dred Scott decision, where people in America were confused on if Black people deserved full rights because they didn't know that for some reason. And now Neptune's back, and people are confused on if unvaccinated people and vaccinated people have the same rights because they don't know that for some reason. So history didn't really change at all. But anyway, what else is new? Nothing under the sun, at least. We're finishing all these cycles, and this is just facts. And in the finishing of these cycles, this Cap Aqua Pisces season is the completion of everything we activated Aries, integrated Cancer, and broke through from Libra to Sag. So we're completing March of 2022, which is an in-between world passage similar to winter, which kills everything off before spring starts anew. It's a void space that's having us reflect and review all the badassery we ascended to. Because once Aries comes in and Nostradamus's predictions start to come true, you're going to be so happy you did the work. You're going to be so fucking happy you did the work. You're going to just remember all the shit you had to deal with in getting to this point, and it's coming into a full focus of your destiny, and just knowing that it was all fucking worth it. Seeing everyone get dragged and trashed, but you're so fucking aligned, you make the decision of who you want to help and guide, because this is part of your duty. It's just the most liberating experience coming into, okay, thank you, AI or Al, this experience. All right. Like, think about that. Think about that. Mandated. This is like this was a huge test. Some of you didn't do what you were basically hand-tied and forced to do. That is not a small feat. You have people who didn't want to take it and they did it because they felt they had to. And while you were in that same position, you still held true to yourself. And you basically told the universe that I choose my soul over the world. Some of you lost opportunity. Ice Cube lost like $9 million, but Ice Cube's a real G and he knows the value of his soul. And so now his liberation is that he's getting rewards because he chose his soul. The people who chose the world, they're getting rewards too. So it's by the nature of the rewards you get that we know who you are. So these seemingly minor decisions are so huge now that you're unlocking this inner understanding. All right. 2020 was when Saturn returned into Capricorn from 2019. 2008, when the celestial potential antichrist or son of Lucifer, sun in Leo on Lucifer, Obama, came through and began his conquest to make a change, which he's destined to do. The tricky thing about Obama is he was destined to be president. He's destined to do what he's doing. He's like a necessary evil or something. But like, that was when Pluto was in Capricorn. 2012 was his second term when Neptune went into Pisces. And now we're in halfway through his third term. I mean, Biden's term. So with that being said, relative to this awakening cycle, we've reached the end of this loading screen. Your body is a vessel of infinite, limitless potential, and your brain is a miracle. The full potential of your body relative to the genetic DNA sequence that you have compounded and inherited from generation to generation, that part is huge, is awakening. That lie they told you about junk DNA is really just a lie. Okay. Scientific methods and tools cannot measure the innate potential that you have unless they know what they're looking for. It still can't measure it, but indirectly, if you know what you're looking for, which they don't, or they do when they're lying to you, it's going to look like it's nothing. So, that being said, you have now collectively, everyone around the world has awakened the unique through the pressure of how everyone responded to these experiences, which is why you see a lot of people dying versus other people just leveling up their power. This facet of this power since 2020 is an unconscious, extra dimensional facet of your power that you had to spend from 2020 to 2022 integrating. That was Jupiter in Cap, Aqua, and Pisces, finalizing the evolution. The reason why it's hard to really see is that this is trans-Saturnian and extra dimensional. So for people who had a solid spiritual practice throughout the years, they quickly caught on to this and rode the wave towards a synchronization process that crystallized everything that they've learned up to this point, similar to awakening superpowers. For people who didn't, their unconscious took them over, hyped up all their existing addictions, and led to suicide or the ruining of their life. Some of them, they had to do this. This was their tower moment that led to their awakening. Other people just died. So that being said, now this 2023 chapter is post 2022, the end. This is the final part. Coming into Aquarius season, this final boss battle in Capricorn season, fully awaken your power. to the point where when we're in Cancer season and Pluto retrogrades back into Capricorn, this isn't the same. An analogy of this is you've been bullied for 10 years by your high school, and then the 11th year you whoop everyone's ass. You whoop everyone, like you finally stand up to that bully, and then you move on. But then it retrogrades back. So now you're revisiting the relationship with the bully after you whooped his ass or after you finally stood up to it. It's not the same. So this is it. 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 Not only is this it, once you come into 30 degrees of that Sun Pluto conjunction, you are manifesting the results of the final boss battle through the Sun Saturn. Okay, we're going to talk about that. That is going to happen during the final exam. So really trust the synchronicities you're seeing. They hit harder for that reason. Okay. So now that we have got your car out the shop, and now that we have basically unboxed this hardware, which is the physical, supernatural elements of your body and latent energy that you can now harness, Aquarius season is now the downloading of the operating system that since 2021 has been downloading. Similar to where you get a new computer and that installation process is the longest part. Did you notice that? Whenever you get a new phone, whenever you get a new computer, even getting a new car, the initialization process is the longest part because it has to download all of the operating system onto your new hardware. There's not anything else you do that's as long unless you update the software to a whole new program or system. That is the Saturn and Aquarius process, downloading the knowledge of your superpower over the next 2 years through your neural pathways. And now applying the way you think about this knowledge in order to now use these powers. Okay. What if I told you, congratulations, you dodged the freak out of these elites who saw their plan wasn't working and tried to do everything in their power to get people to change their DNA before this download process completed. And they can't really stop, because once this download process is complete, you're unstoppable. Some of you have immortality connects. Not everyone, but some of you have Phoenix connects to where if you die, you have save spots to where you could just jump through a nodal portal with your soul and come back 10 years in the past or 3 years in the past. Or some of you can just instantly resurrect. Now, there's pros and cons to this. The thing that balances these mechanics is that, of course, there's pros and cons to each one, but like everyone's different. Okay. Some of you don't even have any cons. Like it's just all pros. So this is where everyone's unique and you're coming into the full secrets of your being and now you're unstoppable. This is completely wild, B. Some of you with Pluto, Sag, and Uranus, and Aqua, and Neptune. In Aqua, you have meta teleportation. Like you can literally be in another inhabitable Earth right now. And then your aura can protect you from the difference of atmosphere, where you could be susceptible to stuff in their environment, but your aura protects you so you can traverse other worlds. Wild shit. Wild shit. Wild shit. Like some of you have new scientific knowledge that through your experience, you're going to teach that ties into work that old heads have been doing, and now you are what they've been looking for. Like this shit is wild. Okay, this is it. You are the most revolutionary part of this revolution. So, you know, thank you, Amanda. Now this process of Aquarius season is going to prepare you for Pisces. Once you've downloaded the operating system, you use the computer. What's the very first thing after your phone, your new phone is finished initializing? You download apps. You get software on your computer. You start to use the attributes of your vehicle. Pisces season is where you start to decorate your vehicle. Okay, I think I want to put this wrap around my car. I think I want to pimp this vehicle this way. You make modifications and changes. You download the software being magical spells by the way you believe and think. Now that you've downloaded this system and you've seen the instruction manual, now you're going to be practicing how to use this so that once you step into Aries, now you spent 30 days experiencing this. Now you know who you are with these abilities. Aries, ooh, mark my words. This is my prediction. This Aries season is going to be the best Aries season we've had in 12 years. It's going to be dynamic. It's going to be impactful. It's going to be dramatic. It's going to be high stakes. It's going to be very adrenaline heavy. Everyone's going to be on the edge of their seat for all 30 days because it's on and popping. And the road to there isn't going to be any less calm, too. I just see this as a calm before a storm. But whereas most people are going to be scared, you're going to be more courageous than ever because you've untapped your abilities and you know why the fuck you're here. Aquarius season is reminding you why you're here through Pisces. Okay, you're getting the knowledge now. You're experiencing it in Pisces. So Aquarius season is preparing you to finish this exam so you can experience it all, test it out, and then boom, do the mission in Aries. Because after Pisces season hits, right, Aries season is going to bring in the new conflict and plot. And then going through Taurus season, you're going to now understand the destiny of what you're meant to use these powers for. It's going to be grounded. And that's when it's going to be super real. And by then, Pluto's in Aquarius. So time's up. No more grace period. And you're going to start to see mass extinction events. Heavy. Like you've already been starting to see it. But because it's in an earth sign in Capricorn, it's been happening slow, wave. Once it goes into Aquarius, duh, retrograde back into Capricorn. Whoa. Oh my gosh, this is really happening. No, it's going back into Aquarius. Like, let's get it. Let's get it. This is not a joke. On and popping. This happened during the French revolutions, the American Revolution, the development of the end of these monarchies. This is just a recycling of history. So let's now actually go into this transit. What is this celestial final exam and download process here? Thank you once again. We're 2 hours in. If you're here, I was destined to break this down for you so that you can be equipped basic instructions before leaving Earth to, you know what I'm saying, thrive and inherit the kingdom and queendom. You are here to thrive. Who do you know yourself to be? Are you immortal? All right. Are you perfect? Are you infinite? You must have integrity to this. Do not let insecurity and doubt and not singing your 3D stop you. You're tuning into this for a reason. This is your connection with your celestial self. Okay. So welcome to the monthly peace report, the celestial final exam. Okay. The first part of this transit is the unveiling of the instruction manual that's going to give you the knowledge of what vehicle you're driving in your body, what power you're awakening, and also, okay, the nature of how to integrate this and master this. Okay. This is going to be evidenced through the new moon to the full moon. The full moon to the third quarter square in Scorpio on the south node, opposite Saturn, the Reaper, is going to facilitate the second stage of the final boss battle sequence through the final exam. This is where you're going to be tested and you're going to have your driving test. Shit's going to be lit. Shit's going to be lit. And then once we complete this arc, this is where you're going to come into the rewards and the results of the final exam And this is what's going to segue the movement into Pisces season, where we step into the final third stage of the final boss battle, to where you take now the knowledge of this experience, and spirit puts you on a mini mission, a secret mission, to apply everything you've learned in past, right? So Aquarius season is you taking the final exam in order to get your degree. Pisces season is, okay, now you need experience, because an employer is gonna hire someone with more experience than someone who just has a degree. Yeah, you got the knowledge, but now you need to create the experience. Now that you got the degree, Pisces season is going to be a 30-day mission where it's like, okay, now that you've got this degree, you got this engineering degree, we need you to do this engineering job for 30 days. Once you do this engineering job for 30 days and you pass that final boss battle and you succeed, Aries season of identity, who are you? You're an engineer. It's that simple, bro. It's that simple, my friend, ladies and gentlemen. If you fail the experience, you still got the degree, but you're not really a skilled engineer. Pisces is going to be the final test to see how well you pass, right? Versus if you fail the exam, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't even have the, you know what I mean? Like, the Pisces season is just going to have to prepare you just to make up for that experience. Like, everyone's different. Okay. So this should excite you, yo. This should excite you, because this is the time of your life and the proof is coming through you. The proof for all the supernatural shit is not coming from a book. It's not coming from one expert who feels they're smarter from others. We all give each other the answers we need because we're not separate from each other. So all the answers are literally within you. Whether you have to manifest the vibrational aspect of you through another person to share that information, or you just see a synchronicity, or you just come up from it from within, you're the question and the answer. Word and nots. So it was written. And other than that, this is basically that process. So before you go into there, this instruction manual is kicking off from this first cycle. So now let's go into to Taurus, where we're at. Right now, the moon is in, this is crazy. Right now, the moon is in Taurus. Okay. Watch this, guys. It's so amazing that we're doing this, because this is a crucial part that's happening right now. So the first is the activation. This new moon is the activation of this knowledgeable cycle. You've now activated the completion of the energy cycle and chakra system, with which by the time we step into Aries and Taurus, you can harness this chakra system, because your chakra system is different from others' chakra systems. You planted the seeds in May, where you started this natural energy, right, through your body. Then Leo season, you extended it up to your heart, solar energy. Then Scorpio season, you deepened the pure energy. And now Aquarius season, through you're capping the energy system to where you've completed it. Over downloading this for 2 years should excite you, because you have experiences that kind of confirm what I'm saying. So with that being said, as you are finalizing this process, this is the instruction manual. This is where I was advising, for those of you who've been maintaining an affirmation, I know I'm a unicorn. Being of one mind is now bringing everything as a part of this frequency, because you did the work already. For people who didn't do the work, if you're just saying it, it's not going to be as powerful, but you did all the work prior. And so now just you focusing on one mind brings in together all the work you did. Okay. So with that being said, this new moon in Aquarius on Venus and Saturn initiated this knowledgeable advanced cycle, plugging in the collective heart with this collective celestial karma. All right. that heart plug establishing this new cycle of the new moon is so important because this completion of that cycle is going to be Saturn in Pisces opposite Venus in Virgo. The conjunction of that cycle there is going to complete Saturn opposite Venus in Virgo, from conjunction to quarter square to opposition. That's the mathematics. And by the time that happens, you will, with Venus in Virgo, be mastering the higher knowledge of your heart's energy through how detailed socially with others you take this blossoming of that in Pisces and fully complete it. Which by the time we get into the quarter square in Gemini, with Venus in Gemini square Saturn, we'll know how to think about that. For now, we're still, of course, relative to this activation, marveling at what you're sowing the seeds for right now. So the next part of this, of course, is the moon in Pisces. And the moon going over Saturn is important because that was you signing the signature of this law you're creating unto yourself. The integrity of staying true to who you know you are, even if the whole world thinks you're a loser for it. Tell the whole world to suck your dick. They still wouldn't be worthy. So the moon in Pisces is the manifestation of this imagination, okay? And this is the first part of the activation cycle to give you an understanding of the metaphysical principles and extra dimensional pertaining to outside of this dimensional mechanics around what the focus of your intent is actively manifesting. So that with this time lag, the moon in Pisces would be like, hey, this is what your intent is creating. Pisces, a mutable sign. What do you want to change? So you'll change through, okay, I have to dream bigger. Let me change and imagine more. This is the necessary component of this. This is you watering the seed. Moon going over, of course, Neptune, put you in a position to tap you directly into the supernatural quality of this manifestation, bringing instant quality and results to this, bearing in mind through synchronicities, you keeping the faith. So 25th of January is when you already started to see results of this cycle, but it wasn't materialized yet. But you've seen synchronicities to be like order received. So over the next 2 weeks from then, you just keeping the faith and not trying to manipulate the 3D or mess with the middle, just keeping with the faith and not giving into your ego. And people are like, oh, you have to make this move or that move, even though they should mind their fucking business. That is what materializes it, because you're just staying focused and being in a state to receive it. That's what inspires you with the actions to take, if you even need to take them. And so the moon went into Aries, and this facilitated, post the sextile with the sun Jupiter, soul expansion. The completion of this soul expansion is going to take place wrapping up in the moon in Libra, the end of the harvest, where you are harvesting the results of the final exam. In that, the soul expansion of how authentically you feel about yourself, in 2 weeks from then, you're going to harvest that by expressing that to other people. So you're going to understand how to socialize this evolved part of yourself. By then you'll know, right? So this is the abilities. Moon in Aries is where you're developing unicorn-like abilities. Well, when it's in Libra, you're showing those abilities you've mastered through Virgo. Polished and classy. Aries is raw talent. Libra is polished. Now you've mastered it. Beautiful. Okay. Moon in Aries brought the first wave of darkness. This Aquarius season, of course, brings several waves. The Pluto waves come in 4, the Saturn waves, and the Neptune waves. So the Pluto wave we first got with the square, which is the first wave of squares, right? Before the oppositions and then the other squares. So the first square is peer pressure through guilt and shame manipulation. In the shadow of the darkness of Aquarius is the evil of the collective that seeks to undermine your self-esteem through guilt and shame, since they can't take your power away from you. If they influence you to feel guilty about the power you're taking back, you're going to give your power back away from them. Except when Aries was square, you're like, not today, bitch. I don't care what about your opinion. So if you're one of the few people who didn't give into that bullshit, congratulations. And that brings us now to the integration. You see, the moon right now is not only on Uranus, but it's trine Mercury. Let's get it. It's happening right now. This is one of the most significant aspects that are happening with the 8-degree sun to north node. The integration of this new cycle is now the second stage of the 4-stage lunar cycle of activation, integration, breakthrough, and completion. It's a lot happening right here. This is the extra dimensional advanced element of your consciousness that has been downloading for 30 plus years, landing its spaceship in the physiology of your body's vessel, so that you can now begin the integration process of literally bringing the higher down to the lower. This is now the advanced nature of synchronization. And for this to happen with the sun squaring the nodes is a fork in the road for you, where you're having to commit towards the 3D or your inner world. This is preparation for you to go full fish tard, when you're not going to have any evidence or movement, and you have to walk 100% by faith and not sight. But see, you're going to be connected to your inner world. So, oh, this is going to be so dope. This is the vision I had for you, because you're going to pass this final exam, right? When Pisces season comes through and people didn't connect with the inner world because they listened to other people about themselves instead of trusting themselves, the light's going to turn off and they're just going to be lost. You're going to be like, light, give me that blindfold. You're going to put on a blindfold and you're not even going to need the light. You're just so aligned. You're going to breeze through Pisces season. Just going to flow. You're a badass. You're a freaking badass. That's the provision I had of you right now. So the first part of this activation cycle from Aries, Pisces, Aqua, Pisces, and Aries is activating the extra dimensional nature of the vibration and frequency, which you can't see. It's not physical. This is developing the abilities in part of understanding your identity. This integration process is where the magic happens. It's the integration process that you're now mastering these new abilities you've just learned. And it's going to really now functionalize the causality between what you think of your higher mind and how your body responds to it. This is strengthening the will of your intent. And if some of you are coming into shocks and bodily shocks, that's literally the moon Uranus right now. So this is literally like electrical gridding. This is you taking the electrical gridding of your brain and now you're bringing it down to ground. You're plugging it in. And this cycle with Uranus is so key because this level of integration is what's now having you understand the physical senses that align with your higher self. This is you synchronizing. So the integration from moon through Gemini into Cancer is going to synchronize and align this. Boop, full moon. All right. So really study this, because Mercury is literally aligning your brain's functioning capability to organize these extra dimensional concepts in a practical way that is useful for you to understand and isn't this spirituality mojo bojo bullshit. Because so much of this is still too advanced for you at this stage to understand. So the superfluous is getting cut out with this earth energy, and you're understanding the practical means that you can use as a foundation to now download and integrate more of these advanced mechanics. Unlike others of you who are already advanced, and so you're just breezing through this. Like you have spirits coming through and you're like, oh, you're a shard of Isis. And the spirit is like, how the fuck did you know that? And it's like, I'm well studied. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone's different. Or you have experiences that now it makes sense. That's another theme. Now that we're coming through here, experiences that didn't make sense before come into full clarity throughout this entire next week. Okay. And this is what's going to now make sense of why certain things happen the way they happen. This trine and conjunction that we're experiencing right now is the interconnectivity of lightning bringing to life your body's inner function so that you can now physically sense the supernatural nature and quality of not just your mind, but its alignment with your body. Now, this connection with Uranus is going to test you, square Saturn, subsequently tomorrow on whether you think this is all delusional or not. Because you maintaining this nature of belief, as you can see with the square, is the second wave of the square that's now trining Pluto. So Aries that squared Pluto, because you broke through, now it's trining Pluto. You're coming into that power, but now it's squaring. Do you give into that peer pressure? Because I'm literally talking about how you have supernatural powers in your body. And to many people in the collective, they are going to think you're crazy as fuck. They're going to think you're fucking crazy. They're going to be like, look, you think you have superpowers? Just go to the doctor. Just get this medicine. Just do this thing. Go to this mechanic. Just get this phone. And you're just going to be like, no, I'm connected to God. Like I have superpowers. And that's passing the test. Not because you have blind faith, but because you're actively sustaining with Moon in Taurus. It's strengthening the energetic understanding of literally proof. So literally right now, you're manifesting proof of your abilities. You can't see Aquarius. Can you see my thoughts? Can you see my thoughts? Can you see my ideas? But you can see how I integrate my ideas through how I live it through my body. Because you can see my body. You can see this illusion of my body. So now you're going to be seeing the utilization of unconscious facets of your supernatural abilities that you've seen glimpses of, but you're coming more into the totality of it. That square is now going to lead into the moon in Gemini. And now, see, this alignment is so goddamn badass. This is how everything is unfolding. This is where everything is moving fast, and then Taurus is the pit stop, and then boom into Gemini. Like everything is aligning so goddamn beautifully. This is the genius that you're a part of. Once the sun at the end of January trines the moon on Mars, you are now integrating everything to where you can fully express the talents of the knowledge of this, and it's go time. This is going to facilitate this acceleration process and also the final square of this first wave of negativity or testing. Okay. This is bringing us into the integration of the mastery of these skills learned with the moon in Aries, but also in Gemini, the full intellectual understanding of how perfectly to think about this new knowledge. So from the 22nd to the 28th, you have at this point read through the instruction manual. And now from the 28th to next week, you're practicing what you've read in the instruction manual, because the moon in Taurus is producing evidence. Everything you were reading in the instruction manual through Pisces, you had to have faith of, because it's like, wow, my body can do this. My body can do that. Now it's in Taurus and, oh my God, my body is doing this. Oh my God, my body is doing that. But I read it. I studied. And so it's like, okay, I studied this. I'm going to do this. Versus other people who didn't study, and they're not going to be able to integrate this that well. Like it is what it is. Studying by really listening to what you were revealed over the past week, and at least having the wherewithal to believe in it. Okay. Because this is where the seeds break through the ground with, of course, the moon in Taurus. Now, the square to Neptune is that final thing where you're going to outright be lied to. So you're understanding the truth and you're being tested by, now that you understand the inner truth, if someone shows you a lie, will you believe that or not? Are you pliable? Do you need just the slightest bit of something external? Or are you so tapped into this inner truth that you understood that you'll see the lie and you'll just cut through it with the word of the sword? because people gonna be lying. People are gonna have half truths and think they have the whole situation, versus you being aligned with the truth that will now break you through this. And this, of course, will lead into the very important integration period that now brings the second wave of negativity. Okay. Now, the second wave is going to be interesting because there's multiple squares. The moon in Cancer is going to square Jupiter, but it's going to oppose Pluto. So this is now from Cancer, Leo to Virgo, the second wave of now oppositions. The first wave was through the squares. The second wave is through the oppositions, where now that you are like, oh, I'm not going to hold back. Now in the opposition, they're like, okay, since you're not going to hold back, let's bang. And then you get the banging. Then the third quarter square is who won the bang out. It's like that. 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 So the moon in Cancer is you integrating the feeling of the celestial knowledge. Whereas now you are forming psychic techniques, psychic pertaining to the emotional integration of your thoughts to affect magical external results, whether through telekinesis, telepathy, clairvoyance, but it's not in the weird unconscious way where it's like, am I sure I know what I'm doing? You know how to do this with fine clarity. By the time you integrate it at this level, it's almost like you're working with an extension of your body, which the function for that is happening now with the moon in Taurus. Psychniques. This is where an element of envy and jealousy will come in, because people who think they're better than you are just going to realize they can't even fucking see you or touch you. And now the opposition here to Pluto is going to test greatly how you break through that. Okay. This integration process is so key. The trine to Neptune is going to fill you with a lot of intuition. The square to Jupiter is going to test how much you understand, how much you've evolved. And the sextile to Uranus is going to extend what's happening now by feeling fully the emotions attached to this new nature of your body's evolution. Bet. Once we get into the full moon, the full moon is going to be the beginning of the final exam. This is where now you've studied through the moon in Cancer for the test, and now you studied through practicing. Now on stage with the moon in Leo, you're getting ready to perform what you've studied. If Aquarius was reading the book, Leo is performing that book by heart. You know how Leo is the heart? You're not reading the book on stage. You're not on stage or you're not behind the booth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do what I do and it is what it is. I handle my biz and I get it like this. It's I do what I do and it is what it is. I handle my business and I get it like this. There's a clear difference. There's a clear difference, because that's what you're going to be judged on. Did you practice until you made that perfect, or did you just write it up real quick and then just try and do it? You're going to be tested on that. And this is also going to establish the final square and opposition of the series, because opposite Saturn is going to be you slaying that giant. The trine of Jupiter is going to boost you, though. It's going to really help you advance the abilities you've learned and boost you with a lot of courage. Then we have the moon in Virgo. The moon in Virgo is the next part of this harvest of the full moon. So the moon in Leo is helping you understand the solar energy to where you'll be able to harness actual effects of this energy through Virgo. And now the understanding of the details of what you've harvested will now transform the knowledge of who you thought you used to be, from one who is immortal to immortal. Because the moon in Virgo is going to give you an understanding of the detailed experience that changes your behavior because of what the moon in Taurus is downloading onto your consciousness through your physical body now. So the effects of everything moon in Taurus is doing now, you're going to experience more harvested with Virgo by seeing, oh, wow, more mechanics, more specs. The opposition to Neptune, of course, is going to complete what the conjunction in Pisces began to show you with literal details. And now, of course, the moon in Libra is the final part of this harvest, square Pluto now, which with its square to Pluto opposite Jupiter not only shows you how much you've evolved, but now shows you the results of this bang out by you not backing down in these social environments. And now, of course, harvesting this knowledge through the understanding of the social activity necessary in order for you to literally show this philosophy of this collective knowledge through who you're connecting with and how you connect with them. So now Moon in Scorpio brings the results of this final boss battle, 10th house, to everything. And relative to that 10th house, the nodal contact on the south node opposite Uranus is completing what's happening now by unlocking the full and total wisdom of the energetic, pure quality of the nature of your energy. So if this is a leaderboard score, you've been generating energy that is encapsulating knowledge, and the higher wisdom of this knowledge through the mastery of what you've done is going to realistically prepare you to powerfully put yourself in a position to come into the understanding of how pure the energy system you have and knowledge is. For those who are impure, it'll see that they're taking the villain path. For those that are pure, they're taking the righteous path. Okay. This unlocking of the nodes opposite Uranus is completing what is extra dimensionally tying itself to your body right now by strengthening through Leo, and then completing by understanding the knowledge of who's even desiring all of this attraction. Okay. So with that being said, with the moon that's going to go into, of course, Sagittarius, the 11th house of that is going to now represent the rewards. And the reason why this is important is, of course, the sun on Saturn sextile this 11th house transit is where now the celestial gives you the full ascended understanding and experience on Saturn of actualizing and crystallizing this higher sense of your celestial self. So this is the period where now you're seeing, I'm in tune, I'm in line. Or so if you fail, you get the results for that. If you pass, you get the results for that. And this is going to show you who belongs in your inner collective. The other facet of this is Aquarius season is introducing you to, of course, your new friends. And Sagittarius season is where you're going to be understanding the amazing connections with where all these friends from all around the world belong in your life, connected through your superpowers, okay, and everything you did with them. That sextile is huge, and square Neptune is on Venus, going to facilitate, now that you've connected with this celestial, the transcendent experiential understanding of how now you don't need to go to the store. Your store is within you. It's already like this now, but it's fully functional, okay? And you've already received your badge. So you have the authority to use this. Congratulations. This now creates transcendence with the moon in Capricorn at 29 degrees, to where now you're transcending out of the old stuff you used to do, because now you have this celestial upgrade. And that, ladies and gentlemen, ends the transit. And we start the new moon in Pisces, and that prepares you to fully experience driving after you've gotten the license. Some of you have driven cars without getting a license before, but now you actually have the authority to drive it. Woo! That's it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have access to Infinity Club, I highly recommend that you listen to this at least 2 more times, or at least come back during facets of the transit and just listen to that part again. But even if you just heard this first, my words have planted into your subconscious, and through your focus, they will grow. So, yeah, there is an increasing intimidation as you raise the sureness of your confidence that's going to have people intimidated of you project more of their insecurity. But as you strengthen your defense just by knowing who you are, this is just going to shit on them completely. It's going to defecate entirely on their consciousness. And they're not going to do anything because they can't touch you. So there's that. That being said, if we look at the quality of what is going to be experienced here, what we're going to see is this whole sense of this completion of your neural pathways enabling you to harness the energy. Some of you have the power, but if you think of it in an RPG, there's certain abilities that you have to have MP for. Are you guys familiar with video game mechanics to where it's like, yeah, you have this power, you have this power, you have this power, but in order to use this power, you need to have more magic points to use, right? Before you can use it. But you have a certain power that doesn't require that much magic points, right? Aquarius season is charging your MP. It's raising the potential of magic power you can use. So this power you awakened in Capricorn, by the end of Aquarius season, now you have more than enough mana and energy to now use all your abilities. And Pisces season is where you go on that mission. You manifest this mission to experience the utility. So it's like you're playing this RPG and you've built this character and you finally understood the exposition. Now you got to go through that first mission so that you can go through the tutorial. And it's like now you're experiencing how to play. And y'all always know after the RPG, after that tutorial, then you actually start the game. That's Aries season. So Pisces season is the tutorial. Aries season is where, okay, now we're ready to start. Congratulations, guys. Shout out to Chad. So with that being said, for those of you who would like a live reading, okay, click the description box below. Okay, if you would like a live reading on what this will be for your chart, you can email me your sun, moon, and rising, or you can email me your natal chart, and I will look up into that for you. So if you are Aries, sun, and rising, this Aquarius season is connecting you with a collective that matches and aligns with the power you're evolving into. This is having you evolve out of old friendships, and Saturn is weeding away friends that just hold you back. And this is very important because you're manifesting this unconventional sense of wealth that's going to match whether the friends in your life can support that or not. So if you're being alienated, it's because you're weeding out the losers in your life, and it's holding space so that you could be around some serious winners. Okay, and this is going to be very powerful for you. Taurus, this Uranian awakening in your rising is building Teflon for you to deal with so much envy and jealousy because you're self-made. And as you start to take away leverage from people who felt they can manipulate you, this is opening up so much liberation in your career so that this can tie you into the divine circle of friends and associates that tap you into your highest divine potential. This, of course, is putting you in a position as you prepare to release the old cycle in your life. But thankfully, this career realization will help you understand the knowledge of what you've achieved and what you're ready to go forward. Gemini, this is revealing the full and total knowledge of yourself as an angelic being and the higher knowledge of the message you're meant to share. Because this Pisces energy is showing you a higher vision of where to take your career, Jupiter is now getting ready to evolve the social circle and the notoriety and the friends who belong in your life pushing you forward. And this is very important because Uranus is bringing you Gemini risings and Geminis a sense of radical isolation, because it's getting ready to download the angelic codes through your body from Pluto and Uranus so that you can process angelic awareness a lot more. Yep, progressed most definitely counts too. Progressed counts even more than the natal. I'm just going to say that right now. Both count, but the progressed is going to hit more. So with that being said, Gemini, you're definitely getting prepared for an explosion coming into 2024. Cancer, this is helping you wade through the intense supernatural psychic warfare dynamics that you've been gaslighted for your entire life, and you're seeing more than ever was real. This is both simultaneously exhilarating but also painful, because the microaggressions have you crazy, wondering if it's all in your head or drama is literally following you for no reason. Many of you Cancer sons have progressed Leo sons opposite Saturn. So you're being tested by the Lord right now. And you have to really just get out your fucking feelings and activate the gangster you know you've always been. That's why I get frustrated when Cancer be in their feelings, because Cancer, you're one of the most powerful signs. You just get in your feelings because you don't want to have to use your power, because you know you'll obliterate. And not all of you are in your feelings. So that's not a blanket statement to all Cancer, but Jupiter is evolving and breaking through this career success. And so this is transforming the boundaries of who you deal with so that you can step more purely into how much more you can do with where you want to take your career. Very, very, very important, especially with Neptune that's initiating this transcendence of your perception, helping you sense and see the unseen in other people's worlds through the windows of their soul and their eyes. And Uranus is innovating how powerfully you really create unique friendships with people who are geniuses or aliens or rich weirdos. Leo, this is full-on career breakthrough. But the question is, what characters are you cementing long-term partnerships and relationships with, especially now with the unconventional blow-up of your career that's impending coming into May when Jupiter enters your 10th. Right now, you're ascending your self-concept of who you see yourself as relative to 12 years since 2010 of evolving this. And so this is reflecting in the form of what partnerships you're attracting and how you've raised your standards in partnerships. So the 2-year test that's been trying you is completing to see how much you can hold space for now this influx of people who are coming in, but also who can hang with you. Okay, because Neptune is very nebulous in the 8th, and you really will not know who to trust if you're not in tune with who you are, and if you focus too much on what other people feel about you versus you staying true to what you know you are. A star, Virgo. This is the complete and absolute pimping of your lifestyle that is finalizing the advanced mechanics and techniques since 2021 you've been establishing through your life. Virgo risings, your chart is mind-blowing because you had the North Node since 2020 going through your 10th house, so it changed your destiny while you were now creating a lifestyle that innovates everything you do so that you can work less and get paid more. Now Mars went through your 10th and you're ready to move forward on this new level of your career that destiny changed that you were working on. And now Saturn's finished on your 6th. So you have advanced lifestyle discipline that you're now seeing pay off through this year. And the reason why all this is important for you, Virgo, is everything as a part of the lifestyle you've really worked hard over the next 2 years, whether it's a routine or a habit to bring in, that's all going to spill over into Pisces, and it's going to prepare you for marriage or to strengthen your partnerships to the next level by applying this discipline in your behavior towards these relationships. And dealing with this Neptune opposition and going through what Leo went through the last 2 years, basically, but as a master magician. And this is really cool because it's going to innovate how much more practically you teach much more advanced natures of the mastery of your skills and what you know and the direction you're getting ready to take things as well. Okay. Libra, what we see here for you is that this is going to unlock extraordinary creativity in a way that accounts for what Jupiter expanded 2021, leveling up your ability to perform now that it's in your seventh, expanding what more and who more you can perform to. So it's basically leveling up all of your ridiculously amazing skills to the next level as if you didn't need to level up again. And this is exhilarating because the limits that you had before, there's no more ceiling. And this allows you to do so much more dastardly things with other, I mean, so much more amazing, inspirational things with other people, because you wouldn't do bad things to people. Because, I mean, you're so intelligent. If you did, they wouldn't even know you were finessing them and they would thank you for finessing them, but you would never do that. So this is enabling you to really step into a total breakthrough of the creative knowledge with which you will moving forward integrate into fully liberating your lifestyle and living over the next 2 years the life of your dreams. This is everything 2022. You expanded the belief of what's possible so that you can now work towards creating that. So this Aquarius season is going to really be powerful towards doing that. Scorpio season, this is really going to establish the war between the celestials that you've been having in 3D while having to keep secret because you really don't trust anybody and you're aware that most people you deal with are agents or want something from you. And so now that Uranus is in your seventh house with the nodes, you have established through contracts more who you can trust and bring into your inner world. Because a lot of people don't understand with Scorpio being the leader of the underworld, most of these people have connections to dragons. Most of these people have ancient wisdom about their own ancestry and other people. There's literally little to no one that they can tell without sharing these secrets and being betrayed. And Scorpio, you already know how bullshit most people are too. And so this has been a huge element that has been hard to break through until now, because you've established this cosmic family that is still going to be difficult to trust moving into, of course, the late 2020s, but you've crossed through the first hump of this. A lot of people don't know what Scorpio is going through because Scorpio will just keep it secret. Like Scorpio will pull in, even though Itachi was Gemini, Scorpio is pulling in Itachi right now. Like Scorpio is playing the villain, but like if you really look at what they're doing, they're being the hero. But like it's weird. It's like they can't. It's weird. I'm not even going to unlock or say that. But other than that, this fourth house understanding is establishing the next cycle of how you now inherit karmic lineage from your ancestry. You're coming into the full knowledge of this relative to all the lifetimes that interlap why you're even here. And it's weird as fuck to know that. It's weird as fuck to know details around that, because it breaks you through the limited understanding you were told to believe about, oh, you were from this land. And now you know how all your lifetimes tie into why you chose the parents you chose. It's not just a concept for you, like you really live this. So, you know, that's definitely going to segue into Jupiter evolving your lifestyle so you can understand how to integrate this understanding of your home space into how you want to live your life, because Jupiter is allowing you to do more with how you actually build your routine. Sagittarius, you are completing the finalization of cosmic abilities. Saturn going through your third is like taking a 2-year diploma course so that you can gain certification over an ability. It's like being a nail tech or being a professional tarot reader. You don't really just learn it at once. Even though you're so fucking advanced and ascended, you were able to pretty much grasp it quickly. You still had 2 years to just perfect on what you know, because now this is the final exam of speaking this cosmic language. You've been bringing together all of the skill sets you have, and for the first time in your life, since you're so fucking all over the place and you just mastered everything and just desperately fumbled about to bring some sense of direction without relying on collabing with other people, now you're bringing it all together and it's freaking you the fuck out, because it's like, oh my gosh, I've been this amazing the whole time, and yeah, I put on this facade to show other people how amazing I am because I shine, but I'm insecure as fuck over what I can do, and that insecurity was never warranted because I've been fucking amazing badass this entire fucking time, and now I don't have to doubt my abilities even though I've shown myself I've had these abilities. Sagittarius, you sometimes drive me crazy. Like, why the fuck are you even insecure? Why the fuck are, like, if Virgo's insecure, that makes sense. They're fucking over analytical, neurotic motherfuckers. But Sagittarius, you make miracles every day with Pisces. Like, why the fuck do y'all begin to? I'm sorry. I lost composure. You're going to find that your awareness of this crystallized nature of your attitude really has you move forward knowing everything you're capable of, to where it's no longer like a, how do I develop these abilities? It's a, oh, I mastered this ability, I mastered this ability, I know I can use this ability in this situation, I know I can use this ability in that situation. And Jupiter is now expanding the raw, authentic nature of how you want to express these talents. What direction do you want to take these abilities? This is an exhilarating transit. Like, I don't understand how Sagittarians could, even Andrew Tate, that's locked up right now, is probably having the time of his life, because he's having to be tested on everything he's been preaching, just like Tory Lane. So like, this, it's an interesting time to be fire signs. Yes, like, you know, literally God level. Like, oh, better stop. Capricorn, this is manifesting fucking money. Fuck tons of money. So much goddamn money. Lots of money. Ridiculous money. For some of you, you were acting like you were broke. Some of you were freaking the fuck out Sagittarius and Capricorn season. Like, what am I going to do for money? What am I going to do for money? But you've been rich and you're realizing, wait, everyone that I know is my net worth. You're realizing that you have so much fucking quality in your network that just one person is like, you know, billionaires. Capricorn's Aquarius season started to realize, oh my God, I know nothing but superstars, billionaires, ascended massive. Like, everyone I know is fucking legit. And they all idolize you. Like, they all recognize your place in the cog. Like, you're the director. Like, you have integrity. You've awakened almost all these people. These people would give off the shirt off their back because you're the fucking greatest of all time. So you're manifesting this value of the knowledge you have. And this is so very important because this is strengthening the breakthrough of the insecurity since 2021 you've revisited since 30 years ago to strengthen the knowledge of your self-esteem. Pluto really fucked some of y'all up and really showed you the evil nature of people who refuse to accept who you are. And this mirrored your inability to accept facets of yourself through other people who projected that towards you. And now that you've awakened to the fact that you are the pinnacle of God level, goddess level, you're now understanding this totality of worth you have. You literally have all the knowledge you want and need to move forward. And you're seeing your effect of how you really create this. Jupiter is expanding your understanding of how you can feel yourself at home, but it's that Taurus. You are fully manifesting that unconventional creativity through your ability to harness this superpower through your physical body. Specifically like the moon, but specifically the sun rising, like, and the progress rising, like, you're doing it. You're doing it. Okay. Aquarius, this is really freaky because your entire life, you completely nerfed yourself. Capricorn had the 30-year nerf. And so Capricorns nerfed themselves for 30 years. But some of you Aquarians are pushing 40, 50, and you actively nerfed yourself because you weren't necessarily allowed to access elements of your abilities, in that you Aquas, Pisces, and anyone else of you with alien constructs are realizing that your very existence drives men and women to insanity. This is not a joke. You've been realizing how you actually express certain qualities of yourself, and it produces uncharacteristic reactions from people that you may have made excuses for to made sense of, but realize it's because they can't see the celestial nature of your being, and it short circuits their ability to process. And some of these people are actually smart and capable people. So it's not because they're dumb or inferior. It's because you are super fucking powerful. And so you have held back and felt limited in the flesh of your own body, almost as if you know that you're capable of more. And now it's unlocked. Now it's like Pluto's back in Aquarius. So the grace period with which you are holding back no longer exists anymore. And so, like, people about to just get clapped around you. You just gonna say a word and shit's just gonna happen. Or people are just gonna get blessed around you because you just say the word and shit happens. Like, you have the strongest mind. So the reason why this is really important is Neptune is manifesting the God level of your ability to take your imagination and grab from this realm and materialize it. The soul portal of your fourth house in Taurus is enabling advanced energetic dynamics, which can instantly materialize a whole lot of your thoughts that when you nerfed yourself, you were still fucking cold. But as an ascended master, you weren't fully liberated until now. This is even double compounded for like Aquarians born before the 60s. If you're Aquarius before the 60s, and then you have the Aquarians with Uranus and Neptune in Aquarius, and then you have the Aquarians with Saturn and Aquarius, like in the 90s, like it's fucking retarded. It's fucking retarded. Nerfed meaning that you had to hold yourself back. So there's certain people who are nerfed, right? Where like their existence is like walking, this world is like walking around in cardboard paper. So they had to put limits and seals on their body and mind that would look like mental illnesses, but it's just a program running the brain to suppress your abilities and energy. Capricorn suppresses power, Aquarius suppresses energy, Pisces through drugs. The reason why a lot of Pisces escape into drugs is just kind of like claws. They have to escape, otherwise elements of their abilities they can't control will take them over, so they escape into drugs through depression. It's a way of nerfing their magic until, of course, they fully control it. So this is beautiful, Aquarius. It really is. Aries is evolving the understanding of how you express your attitude now that you're transcending the value that you have, which is beyond what anyone can imagine. So that's why it's hard for certain people to see that you made a jacket and you're charging, you made a jacket with your exclusive portraits and you're charging like $444 for it. And people are like, this is basic fabric and material. Why are you charging so much? And it's like, because I put my essence on that bitch and I'm a celestial king or queen. So this is a steal. Like I have second house Pisces, like there's certain unseen principles of my value that is like, this is how second house Pisces is delusional to some people, but it's really the truth. Like you got it like that. Your the quality of your energy is higher than most people. So like this is where owning that enables you to know how to capture that attitude. Okay. And Pisces, fish. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna look at you and I'm gonna say the code word fish, and you're just gonna know exactly what I mean. Please don't be mad. That's your lesson, Pisces. Fish. There's a part of you that wants me to explain and tell you what it means, but that's your lesson, Pisces. You don't need to know. You already know. Knowledge is 12th house behind you. Do you know what I'm saying? The knowledge is 12, it's hidden from you. So you're being put in places where you don't have the knowledge, and just by being yourself, you're able to move blindfolded around places. Okay, I'm not gonna do y'all like that. How I should do y'all is just say that fish. I want to do that, but I'm being too nice here, and I'm just gonna mention Uranus in your third house is personally going to take the materialization of your ideas and attitudes and manifest them instantly. Pisces is the only sign that everything that they're thinking happens real time. Everyone else has like a 5 second to 5 minute time lag. And like that's an entire huge burden for Pisces in the 12th, because now all their unconscious fears that they haven't resolved are manifesting instantly so that you can deal with it before it goes through your sign. And now the cement is poured there. Okay. So McFish. I told you one word and you downloaded the full answer from me saying McFish. That's how I should have done your reading. But Jupiter in your second house is also evolving the value of your identity. Pisces rising, you too. So this is helping you come into so much more money. The reason why I can say big fish is because you can literally just take all the message I said from Aries to Aquarius and just apply it to you in your own synthesized way, because it all resonated with you. Ask the Pisces. Everything I said to the other signs resonated with Pisces. So that's why when I come to you, I just have to say fish, because you put it all together and there's nothing more I have to tell you. So me kind of telling you anything is gaslighting you into kind of believing that you need any insight from me when you're the fucking ascended master and you troll everybody by having this enhanced magical ability, but not really telling anybody that you see their dreams, and you're acting like a regular human being and that you're normal, but you literally talk to dream beings and you have lucid dreams and go into other dream realms, and you're literally frying like now, like you probably can't even astral project or like could connect or project your consciousness. And I have a little beef with you, Pisces, but that's why I at least like Cancer. Cancer is at least sincere. I love Cancer. Cancer will at least let you know they psychic. Pisces wants to be the mastermind magician that's like, do I have abilities? Do I not have abilities? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Why do we see all these master numbers everywhere? Why are these miracles happening? Is this real? Pisces, just stop. Let Scorpio be mysterious. Scorpio is the mysterious one. They're the ones that want to be the, maybe I do. And they can do that. Pisces, pick one. Because you want to be Cancer and Scorpio. Just what's up? You're not even here. You're not even really here. Virgo was here. I know, because they side-eyeing everyone. But you're not here. You're just like, oh. So like, what's up? I'm sorry. See how I lost my composure for Sagittarius and Pisces? It's always those two. See, I was cool with everyone else, but Sag and Pisces, that's crazy. All right, it is what it is. Okay, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was quite the webinar. I think we did the damn thing. Thank you. This is definitely pivotal. Remember, by the time we exit this season, you're connected. You're connected with a being outside of this time and space, and you have full access to it. Right now, the moon is in Taurus, so this is like, if the console was the video game, Moon in Taurus is you connecting the wires of the video game to function the game. And so this is making it real. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to end this here. Shout out to Nirvana and Amanda, who sent me some Cash Apps. I'm going to start the live readings. Once again, for those of you who want to access the replay, please make sure you join Infinity Club and you'll be able to see this forever. All right. So Nirvana, we know you're a 29-degree Virgo rising. Wild. We know you're 3 degrees Aries moon. So Jupiter is literally evolving your soul right now, while the South Node is next to your sun. And you're probably progressed into Sagittarius or Capricorn. So having a 29-degree North Node Sagittarius is just as amazing. And Venus is sextile in your Venus. So Aquarius season is important because the new moon aspect that we had was on your Jupiter. So not only did this boost this cycle, but like everybody, okay, this put you in a position to now come into evolution through this cycle. All right. And personally, sure, we can do a pick a card. I'm going to do the live readings, and then anyone who stays after the live reading, I'll just do a quick 3-card pick a card reading. King Sigma, appreciate you, B. So with that being said, this new cycle with Jupiter in your 5th house is advancing the expansion of knowledge of how you can advance your lifestyle, but also understand the private nature of who you feel comfortable with living this lifestyle with, living with. And the cool thing about this is that the new moon sextiled your moon. So you understood instantly how to apply this new knowledge, your understanding towards other people. It's like every technique you came into, you instantly understood how to apply it to who you're with, which is super badass. Jupiter is squaring your Saturn in Cancer, which is another factor to keep in mind, because this is definitely putting you in a position to, with these harsh squares, break through this instantly. This is where the difficulty of the squares is actually very powerful. And your Neptune trining moon gives you this passionate, intuitive alignment and understanding of seeing visions connected around to everything you're knowing, which is supernaturally having you like literally, there's so much aspects to this. It's crazy. 24-degree Uranus and Libra opposite Mars and Aries, 27 degrees, is this instinctual ultra instinct that has you literally move twitch fibered relative to instinctual actions from other people. And so Aquarius season slowly sextiling that with Saturn strengthens the knowledge of how much more active and instinctual you'll move here, so that by Aries season, when Jupiter is here, it's just bang on. But this is actually set to be pretty fun, just bearing through the squares. And we have to, of course, by the full moon, see how you'll be understanding who to connect all of this creative knowledge and understanding to. But your Scorpio sun is what's going to really charge more this understanding of wisdom and how you move forward to, once again, integrate all of that. Okay, I hope that was resonant for you. So, Amanda, we know you have the Taurus rising. No, we know you have the rising in Cancer. So as a sun in Gemini, this is going to give you an awareness of the higher knowledge of your angelic being. But as a Cancer rising, it's going to juxtapose how you use this knowledge to deal with other people. So it's like you're coming into drawing boundaries relative to what you're learning about yourself. And the more you tap into this knowledge you're receiving about yourself, this will let you know who you can trust. It's like you're learning, oh, I'm this type of angel. And because you tap into that, you start to see demons or other types of angels now that you're tapping into this frequency. And what makes this even deeper is that, thank you, Nirvana, because the chart for you is even deeper. It's fascinating. I love your aspects. What makes this even deeper is Uranus is on your moon. So unlike every other Gemini and Aqua rising, you're constantly downloading the Aquarius ruler on your soul, this extra dimensional understanding, which is actively innovating your physiological process to sense this. So it's like the whole season that you're coming into the knowledge of who you are, your clear senses, your superpowers, and your body's ability to sustain this in your vessel are strengthening rapidly. And Jupiter is still set to come here too. So as a Cancer rising, this is all happening while Jupiter is evolving your career success as well. And not just evolving your career success, but it's preparing you for April, where you're going to do so much more with what you have than you've ever done. And it's a lot to look forward to because, once again, as a Gemini sun, this is going to prepare you for Pisces season, where you're going to break through with this higher knowledge of your philosophy and how this is bringing you up into completing this karmic lesson of teaching everything you've learned through leading by example. Now the miracles that are going to be laid and coming through. And your moon is in the 11th, so you'll be feeling more where all this belonging comes into as well. Okay. Okeezy. So this pick a card reading is going to be tied to the nature of the celestial that you're connecting with, how you're connecting with them, and a breakthrough into how to facilitate this now. So instead of waiting until the end of it, you can already start to tap into it now and to prepare for the final exam. We do have, of course, the world. So the world is talking about this eternal, this is Saturn. This is literally the final exam that you're being tested by, Saturn. And so for those of you who pass this, You're coming into liberation. Contemplate on what success means to you, and you're coming into understanding the total world within you that you're getting ready to access. So the pile that you pick is going to key you into the nature of your inner world and how you really tap into this right now. This is so very powerful. Okay. So we got card 1, card 2, card 3, and we're just going to do 1, 2, 3 really quick. So for those of you, 1, 2, 3, this is very important because certain people who are insecure poke at your self-esteem and start to criticize elements of you just to make you dependent on their approval because they're insecure bitches. So if they like say, oh, you're this, you're that, you need to change. If you're not securing yourself, instead of drawing boundaries and putting them in their goddamn place, you'll just give away your power. But now you have this world, you have this world within you. So you're not going to tolerate disrespect. If you picked card number 1, you do have the Temperance. So you are being tested on how well you can balance elements of your life. And with good management, get rid of bad habits and replace them with better habits. This is going to make you a master of alchemy, drawing conscious elements from your subconscious, bringing something from nothing. And this is going to bring great peace. This is the Sagittarius card. This card, I feel like, is going to be slept on because you're going to be making minor changes. So as you're making these minor changes, you're not going to think that it's going to really do much. And then once this actually kicks in at the end, boom, it's like everything flows smoothly. And you're able to, with this moderation, step into liberation. This is fucking powerful. If you picked card number 2, we have the Hierophant. So this is really more so you coming into the full knowledge of all of your abilities. You're coming into the full knowledge of this inner world, and you're representing this full knowledge as the Pope. So this is going to guide you along how to live by example, the lifestyle and the religion and the philosophy that this final exam has you move through, because you're somebody who is going to be called on to guide people along their path. You're like a pope. You're like an organizational leader. Pile 1 is going to be someone that helps people like transmute elements of their lifestyle. Pile 2, you're going to be like the teacher. Okay. And that's very powerful, by the way. It's going to be the inner school within you that you're going to learn and then be a dean of. Okay. And then number 3, we do have Strength. So strength taps into the limitless passion and energy that you're going to be in a position to tap into. This could be in the form of a passion partner or somebody who really drives this out of you, but this is really you. This is you exploring with this liberation all of your passions and everything that you love doing and that exhilarates you. And what you're going to be tested on is mastering your passion and lust so that you can just explore and experience elements of your sexuality too. So pile 3 is going to get into tantra and more liberation of their sex life, as well as now fully integrating stuck parts of their own passion that expressed itself in sexual frustration. That was beautiful. All right, y'all. I think this is another W stream. There's just so much gratitude here. I think you all deserve everything that you've worked hard for, and moving forward, just remember this is all preparation for the beginning of the end of the world. after we end this broadcast, the moon's conjunction to Uranus trine Mercury is going to take its effect, because you'll no longer be in this portal. While you're in this portal, you are hyper accelerating your subconscious energy while being with other people. But once we end this broadcast, your body's now going to feel the effects of being back in 3D, and it's going to facilitate a lot of manifestation. So prepare for the synchronicities right now. And until next time, have a blessed weekend. Peace.